They doing down there now? Well, they always up to something, them two. What's them yahoos doing?
What y'all got going on down there?
Got everybody asking what they doing down there. What they doing down there. What they doing down there. Everybody asking what they gon' do now. What they gon' do now. What they gon' do now. Everybody asking what they doing down there. What they doing down there. What they doing down there. Everybody asking what they doing down there. We just trying to make a difference with the bass and the snare. And you can call me Bon Jovi cause we're living on a prayer. We got everybody asking what we doing down here. Down here in the swamps, in the woods where we roam. Got mud on my tires, hang my hat and I'm home. Tell them about
The hustle is hard, but the rewards are sweet. Every challenge that we meet, we refuse defeat. We got that sun on our faces and the wind in our hair.
Welcome, 239 Uncensored. We are in the studio today. It's a big day today. We got Tate and Jira opening up for Relentless Hope. I don't know what Blake's doing out in the car, but he's really
kill that engine, Blake.
Yeah, hey, shut that engine down. What the hell, man? He's like busting out. We got people walking by the studio. It's out of control.
Wild Wednesday.
Hey, Pat, what's going on, buddy?
It's Wild Wednesday.
Yeah,
We're in
Wild
studio
Wednesday.
today, a little
Yeah,
sneak peek
yeah.
at a live studio. So exciting, big things going on at Studio 239. And we're first live show in studio. We got a couple special guests today, so excited about that. Exciting times, Timmy G.
Hey, we're in the studio. Finally got this thing up and running. I know for a fact we're going to definitely run into some hiccups, but we are going to get through it, and we're going to have fun with it today. It's Wednesday. It's Wild Wednesday, not just Wednesday.
I told you Blake's gonna.
Yeah, I mean, he just fires himself in. He's in with the Pat Dearborn. Oh,
He's taking this live show serious. Wait till you see Blake dressed up.
yeah, I mean, Pat Dearborn can't make it on the set today, but he's going to call in. He says he's at the clinic to get some unknown medication. We're not sure what that medication is.
He's getting his COVID shot at the clinic. So, Pat Dearborn, a little bit under the weather.
Yeah.
But being the trooper that he is, he's going to be calling in here shortly. So we're going to bring him in. And we got our third guest.
Coming on shortly.
Coming on.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. Dressed up
I'm
for
glad he
I
was
feel
here.
a little bit underdressed.
I'm glad he was here for the sound check.
Yeah. Thanks for revving up your 800.
Blake, on throwing your headsets, buddy. Nice you could join us.
Act like you've been here before, please.
Yeah, act like you've been here. Can you hear us?
Mic check.
And you actually
you look like a professional news anchor.
Yeah, look at you, man. You come in. Look at that.
I was invited to be on the news.
Yeah,
I like how you're like touching the mic. Like it's pretty cool.
It's kind of my new thing.
Yeah,
I'm glad he's touching the mic and not other things. But
we put Patrick in the middle. We could probably figure out why Patrick's in the middle.
Why is that?
I just know that Patrick likes being in the middle of a group of guys, but we'll leave that to.
That's true.
I don't know what that means.
I gotta actually behave myself. I've been told that I'm kind of like a little bit tough on Patrick.
No,
you're perfect.
No, he told me
he's not perfect.
Yeah,
but
no, he's
don't
perfect.
lay off.
Yeah. So we're getting a bunch of comments out there. We got
Blake looks
Meredith
like
chiming in. Sorry, Meredith's a little bit
I look
darker,
good.
but she writes in there. I'm gonna see if I can fix this. So it's I want to make Meredith's
Meredith
text
happy.
stick out a little bit better. Let's see if I can do this in white instead.
Anything we can make the Meredith.
Meredith is, you definitely got to make Meredith
Mike
happy
Valdez says Blake looks like
There we
Walter
go.
Cronkite.
Meredith puts on there, wow,
At least somebody knows what they're talking
looking
about.
good.
out there.
I got that's always good when you have your mother's sign on. So I got to behave today. My mom's on, so I got to behave.
Hey, Mom.
Mama G's in the house?
Yeah,
Hey, Mom.
you
Oh,
always
wow.
do.
Mama
And
G.
Meredith goes,
Tell you one
stop
thing, with
it.
this suit
What
on,
else
we're
we
gonna need
got?
to
Oh,
crank
we
the
got
AC.
Mike on.
Yeah, Mike says
Blake looks like Walter Cronkite.
That's right.
Do you remember who Walter Cronkite
I
was?
absolutely know. Canadian. Walter
Was he
Cronkite.
Canadian?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See?
Great news
Oh,
anchor.
look at this. We opened it up. Looks good, fellas.
Relentless
Shout out to Relentless
David,
Hope.
big shout out.
Bringing us in with what they doing down there.
What they doing down there. Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, so this is our first day in the studio. What do you guys think? You guys like the setup, or we're tweaking it. We're tweaking it, but I think we look
becoming and
we look pretty professional.
We look like adults.
We look like adults, and so it's fun. Meredith gets it. Looks awesome, guys. You all are great.
Thanks for the love.
We're glad we have 3 or 4 fans that jump on. And Meredith,
we appreciate it.
I need you to come in though. I need you to come in once for sure. And again, glad to have my mom on if she can hear us. Go ahead, Mom, and write some comments. If your mom listens to your show,
you're successful.
You're successful, right?
And if she's not listening to it, then you got bigger problems.
So Phil, that's true. Fill us in on what's happening Wednesday here in Collier County and the 239. Because remember, we're not just in Collier County; we're all over Southwest Florida and beyond. We have stories throughout the country. You guys had a great opportunity yesterday. We're going to talk a little bit about the Turtle Club and your experiences down there. But you guys had some pretty cool people you talked to yesterday. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we had a really cool networking luncheon, I guess you can call it. It was supposed to be about an hour. It was about 4 hours. We had an absolute blast. Steve LaBelle, who is a absolute hip-hop legend, royalty. He's been involved in hip-hop since the late 80s. Got his career started by Jam Master Jay of Run DMC, Tim.
Yeah, but I do remember Run DMC.
Yeah.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, they're a pretty big group, I would say. And he's been involved. I mean, there's too many names today. He's been involved with everyone from Fat Joe, Mariah Carey, Mobb Deep, managed Nipsey Hussle, managed Easy, still manages Bone Thugs. But just a blast.
For the other half of the world that doesn't know who any of these people are, thanks for watching our show and continuing to listen.
Patrick gets really excited about this. He speaks about this stuff like everybody
I get to mention
knows.
Mobb Deep, I will find a way to bring him into the show.
Yeah,
but Mariah Carey and Rod Stewart, I mean, his resume is phenomenal. And just for him to say, wow, you know your hip-hop was a special day for me, but just an unbelievable time. And he's going to be coming on the Politic and Jira Larry Love podcast next week. So stay tuned for that. And got to hang out with a hip-hop legend, hip-hop royalty over some great food that Chef Blake will be doing his food review a couple days early today.
Well, not really the food review because we stick to that on Fridays.
Right.
It's going to be a little bit of a shout-out
appetizer
for taking care of us yesterday. Thanks to the Turtle Club. That was phenomenal. They took care of us. They gave us a special spot right close to the water, which was what our guest had requested. They allowed us to hold that table for over 4 hours, which was great, and they supplied endless drinks and
is that like
food.
a big is that like a big deal for having the table for that long at the Turtle? Was there a lot of people there though?
Yeah, I think the more tables you can turn around, the more money you can naturally make. And of course, because they don't accept reservations, they kind of did us a favor and made sure that we had a spot. Which, like I said, shout out to the Turtle Club for taking care of us on that.
We were pretty close to the water.
Yeah, we were right next to the water. It was great.
Patrick, no, that's good. No, but before we forget it, and we actually have the one and only Blake Becker here, but we want to put a shout out to one of our sponsors, and he happens to be here in the studio. But let's go ahead and just put a little shout out to the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, I know that.
Blake Becker and his team are always about luxury design, top-notch quality, and giving you the best experience imaginable. Becker Custom Builders are experts in building your dream kitchen, bathroom, or even making your outdoor kitchen area a reality. They will take your plain house and make it into a cozy, welcoming home. So if you're looking to upgrade your space, Becker Custom Builders is the only place to look. They've got you covered. Blake and his team have whipped up the studio in no time, and it's looking great. Remember, contact Becker Custom Builders. Wow, who's that? Becker Custom Builders.
Oh, man, that's a great company, I've heard.
Blake the Builder.
I will say, Blake, though, there's a lot of people around town that have spoken very highly of you, very highly of your company, professionalism. And we're not just saying that because you're a sponsor.
And you're in the
studio, but it's true.
Thank you. Seriously.
Yeah, no, that's good. So you guys had a great day yesterday. The weather in Naples is beautiful. I can tell you we don't have to worry about selling that.
Matt Goodwin in the house watching as Tim
big.
flips over the desk.
Yeah, well, this These tables. I'm trying to put. Hey, what's up, Matt? Good to see you in there, buddy. Patrick.
And then we want to know, what's your favorite lunch spot on the water in Southwest Florida? We want to hear from you guys.
Yeah, we want to know where you like to go. And Naples really doesn't have a whole bunch of places where you can sit down and eat on the water.
You're right.
You know, but
Tigress is one of them. Just came out. It's nice. We were there last week.
He did your food review, and they were kind enough to share it too. So shout out to Tigress.
Yeah, that was good. Tigress. That's in the Perry Hotel, top floor. Mike jumps on, talks a little bit about the Bone Thugs. I know Patrick's going to be really happy about that.
Yeah, Steve LaBelle was with them from the beginning.
I'm going to stand up a little bit.
And still manages them to this day. And he actually put together that famous track with Notorious B.I.G., Notorious Thugs. And so he put that studio session together, classic hip-hop song.
Yeah.
Island Gypsy, that's a good one.
Yeah. Pelican Bend is good. Island Gypsy is a really good one.
Great carrot cake. You ever have the carrot cake at Island Gypsy?
I haven't, but we'll have to try that out.
Freaking phenomenal. Like,
I love carrot cake.
Life change.
Put vegetables in.
Speaking of which, I don't think we ever got our apple pie yesterday.
Oh, what
We
did you?
I don't know
get,
if we paid for it either.
Did-
I remember.
did you
I
guys
just
get the
was
apple
We didn't get
so
the apple
caught up in
pie.
conversation.
Yeah, there was so much going on. I just
I
realized we
think
never
you might
got.
have forgot it or
Yeah.
whatever, but I didn't even check the bill. So
Yeah. Well, you don't have to worry about the bills. You're the one guy you go out to eat. You just order whatever you want. Like I sit down with Blake Becker at the table, and it was like 14 appetizers before you even get going.
that's right. We got to make sure the table's
And
taken care of.
he doesn't usually always announce that he's paying until the end. So I'm a little bit. I get a little bit nervous.
Like,
Yeah.
darn, I could have ordered a couple things.
I could have
more.
ordered a couple things more.
I'm ordering
like
soup
lamb
and water.
chops.
Lamb chops.
Like lamb chops.
Patrick usually doesn't really.
Yeah. He loves. putting
That was like
nice order.
that was like
Lamb
a year
chops.
ago.
Hey,
Why are we still bringing this up?
If you declare that you're paying,
You weren't even there for the lamb chop
It's okay.
incident.
I didn't need to be there because I've experienced my own. version.
if you declare you're paying prior,
You guys have T-bone?
yeah, you got to really be careful
got
with
steak and lobster?
with Patrick. Yeah, he's good, but he yeah. So well, I'm trying really hard. But just let's talk about this. We play this game, and we play this game called Stump Pat Jira, and if you can stump Pat Jira, you get not only a potential to get a T-shirt at the Alamo, but you get a free shooting session at the Alamo if you can stump them. Now, how we play this game is really easy. If you know a player that's played in the NFL, and they played
From 95.
from 95, he makes the rules up as he goes, but we're doing it from 1995.
He likes to
and
answer
up.
questions for you.
It
As well.
says it right on the freaking
Right?
screen.
I know, but I like to bring it up. NFL
Apologize.
player and who's played. Patrick can tell you, and I've got to be careful how I do this because I've got in trouble. He will tell you what college he's played at, and it's very useful information. And his knowledge is unimaginable, and
In many ways.
in many ways. So
You don't wanna know what goes
we
on
need
my
you,
head.
what we need you to do is go ahead in the comments, and I've got to.
Shout out to Blake Becker yesterday. Steve was talking about all the memorabilia signed that he has, and he said, I bet you guys can't guess the one franchise I don't have. And Blake Becker coming out with the Houston Oilers. That was pretty strong, buddy.
You know, I like to surprise you guys every now and then.
Yeah.
I'm not an expertise on football or sports history. It's just not my thing. I love sports. I love watching football. I love watching basketball. And
You like
sports,
watching
but-
men.
True. And so, but I don't have, like, I never have. Even when I was a kid, I never could remember, like, my buddies watched ESPN like 24 hours a day, and they knew everyone's stats and where they went to school and when they broke their toe and all this, when they had their DNA check last, and all this useless information.
Right.
I knew the score of the last game because I watched the game, but I just didn't know the details. Pat's one of those guys that somehow memorizes every detail of every player that's ever played. Thank you, Matt. We're popping bottles too. And
Virgin.
that is useless knowledge, but it actually plays out. And I was able to throw one out. It was
Yeah.
from left field, and you know what? It worked.
Just a bit thought outside the box. What franchise is no longer around? That would have been a hard get.
Yeah, see, I'm a common sense kind of guy.
You
so
are.
When he said franchises that I don't have, I had to go. I went right to the places that had moved recently or in the past 10 so years.
That's why I have useless knowledge, and Blake has knowledge that actually helps make money. So that's
Useful
the difference.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Yes, I have useful knowledge.
Yeah. You do have a lot of knowledge. You're a very smart guy, and you'll throw out like, "Hey, what movie was this in?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know." Yeah, we're talking.
Well, Tim can't even remember a conversation we had from 12 hours
Well,
ago.
when you're like 39 years old and you got so much in your head, you don't really worry about what happened, yesterday or 15 minutes ago. You're moving forward.
You're moving fast.
You're moving forward,
Be nice
Patrick.
to me today.
I'm being nice to Patrick today. We'll have to tell you the reason why at some point. He told me do not bring that up, but I will. Not bring it up, but I got to be nice to him.
You don't have to be nice to me. That's why people tune in.
Yeah, no, well, yeah. So but we won't do it. Let's talk about before we can do this.
What do they win if they stump
disclaimer?
P Money Jira.
Yeah, if they win, they stump P Money Jira. Cody Scott over at the Alamo. If you've never been to the Alamo gun range, he will provide you with a shooting session or a T-shirt. I'd go with a shooting session because I think
they have some nice T-shirts, and you guys know I love freaking.
Yeah, you
T-shirts.
love anything, but you don't pay for T-shirts.
Free
T-shirts.
Usually, I love free T-shirts.
Free T-shirts.
If I can get a free T-shirt,
I'll
I'm
fucking
coming.
campaign for you. Give me a free T-shirt.
Hey, you get Pat Jira a free. That's how I got him. That's how I got him to help.
Clothes.
That's how I got him to help me out.
He holds a sign that says, "Will work
See
for
who give me the
clothes."
most shirts, and I'll campaign for you.
Yeah. I'm just trying to catch up with some of these. How about David Gerard? David Gerard.
From the Jags. That's actually
from the Jags, right?
That's a good one. I'm going to guess. I'm thinking Furman. He went to a very small school. I want to say a BCU too. I'm going to guess freaking Furman, but somewhere in the South. But that's a good one. That's
South.
That's a really good one, Mike Valdez. Wow, you might have got me today. Let me get. I'll go.
I know where it is.
It's not Furman. No,
you're wrong. So,
QB, right?
Quarterback, Jaguars.
East Carolina.
Oh, that's a good. I said the South.
And it's good that you have one fan out there too right now. Meredith. Look up Meredith. It's actually very impressive,
Thank
Patrick,
you,
your knowledge of football.
As I just got one wrong. So
yeah. So when you get one wrong, we're actually we're cheering for a couple people. We're cheering for you. But we're also cheering for the person who okay. Whatever. Just
shout out to Mike. So Mike, you get a free shooting session at the Alamo or a T-shirt, and also I'm going to hook you up with some free ice cream at Royal Scoop. Thanks to Matt Moen, supplying some gift cards to Royal Scoop ice cream, so you can hook your kids up with some free ice cream. So, good job, Mike. That's a good one. I should have known that because David Guerrette was a starting NFL quarterback for a few years and played in the league. What is your obsession with shirts, Patrick? Well, Sharka, you just bought me the shirt I have underneath the Studio 239 fleece, so you added to my obsession. Thanks,
Sharka. Keeping him in a shirt is going to be so. Yeah, keeping him in a shirt is definitely going to be an interesting thing to do.
Well, I remember one person once said, "I saw you in the same shirt for 2 pictures," no. What?
Yeah, Pat's like driving down the road. We can't do it, Pat, if you're driving, bro. You got to pull over and stop.
Got to be still so he calls me when he's
driving. Driving. Hold on, I'm going to just put Pat on one time just so we can reduce our liability. Yeah. Hey, we love you.
Hey guys,
feeling good.
Good morning.
Can't be driving down.
I'm in one of those driverless cars, man. Elon Musk, buddy, we're handling shit.
You don't see him his hands on the steering wheel. It's a
Patrick,
self-driving Uber.
Patrick, we're getting this thing kicked off today. We don't want to get this big lawsuit when you smash ass pack somebody.
He's not driving. You ain't got him on camera.
I'm pretty sure he goes to the same team.
Lawsuit, small shoot. We ain't scared of lawsuits.
Hey, Pat,
Let's go.
I thought you're sick. You got a heck of a tan going on for being sick.
Yeah, man. Infrared, red light therapy, cold plunges. Trying to be ultimate.
Yeah,
absolutely, the ultimate human.
Orange man bad.
It's good.
It's funny. It's funny. Rule. Oh, go. Hey, don't go any lower. Don't go any lower.
Oh, might have some new.
What's up, guys?
anybody have any comments for the Patrick Dearborn that we all love and know out
Patrick
there?
Dearborn.
The Patrick Dearborn.
Hey, can I say one thing real quick?
What's that, brother?
I'm super excited, man, that obviously we cross paths a lot in this town for great causes. And we got a huge one coming up here on March 31st, man, with Mike Bird and Naples All-Star Events. And I'm so pumped that as of yesterday, you guys were invited to come and do a podcast live there, benefiting a couple different local charities, youth in Fort Myers and veterans, wheelchairs for veterans. So, and you got the NFL legends, man. You're going to have Ed Too Tall Jones of the Dallas Cowboys, who is not yet in the Hall of Fame, by the way, which is a travesty. You got Notre Dame legend, Super Bowl champ, Hall of Fame, and the MVP of the league, Joe Theismann from the Washington Redskins. Hail to the Redskins, lifelong Redskin fan.
Commanders.
And you got Dan Hampton from the '85 Bears, who is in the Hall of Fame. Guy's a monster.
He was a tackle.
Defensive tackle.
Tate, defensive tackle.
Yep.
Beast.
So anyway, and then there's a rumor, maybe a couple of the surprise guests there. A lot of rumors floating around. Could be another couple Hall of Famers in the crowd too. So stay tuned. But I'm fired up. We're gonna have you all the legends of podcasting there, interviewing the legends of Naples and the legends of the NFL. So that's gonna be a great combo, man. I love that. I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun night. And there's a little special thing, Pat. Don't forget, he has something. Mike's got something on with a few more tickets, right? He got going.
Yes.
On tickets.
Great thing, Blake. So Mike just announced to me and Blake yesterday that he reserved about 15 tickets. General admission, the whole thing sold out, but general admission tickets were $200 just to attend the event. Did not even give you access to the after party poolside at the Naples Hilton Hotel, which gives you one-on-one access to these NFL legends. As of yesterday, Mike Bird announced to me and Blake, and we're announcing it for the first time here on this show, that those 15 tickets for any first responders, nurses, law enforcement, firefighters, etc., they're going to offer those tickets at half price for $100 and give those people full access to the after pool party as well as the event. So for $100, talk about a really cool experience and doing some good for our local community. I'm gonna tell you what, it's gonna be a great day in Freedom Town, USA.
That's right. We're excited to be there. Becker Custom Builders is also a sponsor of this event as
Yes,
well.
sir.
Dearborn's team. And then, of course, having the Studio 239 live at the event is going to just really make that event so much better. And it will be really good turnout for everyone who is coming. And if you have the opportunity to get on these half-price tickets, please reach out to myself, to
Yes.
Mike or Patrick Dearborn. We'll get you guys taken care of.
We'll put it on
Yeah, just
39 too.
Nice.
please. I guarantee you they'll be gone. I mean, ASAP. So I just bought a ticket for a nurse that we knew that was. You can hear by my voice. We're fighting a little something. It's that time of the year. I got to take care of yourselves. Am I freezing? Am I okay? Can you still see me?
Yeah, sounds
You're
like
good.
you must be.
Pat, you violated rule number 1, so we'll just keep it rolling, buddy.
Are you in the streaming from Ukraine, Pat? Your connection's a little shoddy.
That must be Starlink.
Yeah, we're
Starlink.
Starlink.
Shout out to you.
so it ain't Starlink. Don't blame Elon Musk. Elon's the best. Can y'all hear me again now?
Yeah, we
Damn
got
it.
Just keep it on the road. Don't be
Hey,
fucking.
am I there?
Oh God. Hey, Matt Goodwin did say Pat Dearborn without a plug would not be normal if that wasn't the case.
Pause, Matt. Good one. Hey. Oh,
That's
right.
right.
We do.
Get the word out, Pat. We appreciate you, brother.
This is local Naples
Hey.
news at its finest. Where else can you get this kind of
This is some
information?
fun stuff too.
Exclusive news, yeah.
Next question.
Listen, Freedom Town USA is a lot of things. We ain't perfect. We're imperfect. We're flawed. But you know what?
Our internet
We're
connection.
making podcasts great again. We're making driving while on a podcast with my hands off the steering wheel great again. And
Get out of here.
we're gonna make. And by the way, on Monday, March 31st, we're gonna make not just NFL legends great again. We're gonna make youth here, underprivileged youth, and veterans that need wheelchairs great again. And I appreciate seriously, Blake, all you do, Pat Jira, Tim Guerrette, all y'all do.
Oh, we love you, brother. We love you.
Well, we appreciate
We
what you
definitely
do.
want you to get better, though, and then you can come in the studio and you can fucking do cartwheels and stuff. Whatever you
Fucking
want
cold
to do.
plunge right
Cold
on.
plunge. Will you do a
live.
cold
you know
plunge
what?
live?
Would you do a
I'll
cold
bring
plunge?
my cold plunge in here. Let's do it.
You
Let's
guys
set
can have
it
a
up.
cold plunge.
I'm
Get a little crazy.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm gonna throw it out there right now. We're gonna bring you guys
Ugh.
to the Ritz Carlton Naples Beach Resort, to the spa, and I think we're gonna get. I want everybody in skin tight bathing suit, and we're gonna do a podcast live from the cold plunge at the Ritz Carlton Beach Resort, one of, if not the number one hotel in the country, in the world. We're coming live. There may be shrinkage. There may be shrinkage. And there may be a call for a tummy tuck, maybe some 6-minute abs. But we're going to do it and do it live and do it big.
Next question.
Hey,
Oh, you
Next question.
reminds me. Well, I don't know if I can.
I've never
if I
seen
can-
this
we-
much under chin of Dearborn, but it's not bad. I like the little fuzz. you
Even
got going.
sick.
Look at it, man. We got Joe Pavich looking pretty, and
Joe Pavich. What the fuck? The wrong realtor.
Wow.
we got Joe Pavich looking pretty, and we got Pat Dearborn.
Oh,
here
okay.
looking
Wow, Pat.
pretty. Yeah.
Gotta look
Listen,
out. Make
listen.
sense. Keep
Listen.
telling you.
I love Joe Pavich, but no disrespect. If we're doing a podcast on Botox, we'll give Joe Pavich a call. When you want to do a podcast on cold plunges and being the ultimate realtor, you give me a call.
Shots.
Next question. Next question.
Hey, are we allowed?
Mic drop. Mic drop.
Are we allowed to put out any information about your next question podcast coming?
Well, you just fucking did. You said-
Well, I mean, I didn't say it. I didn't
You
say it.
just said you
Totally say it.
Hey,
won't cover.
so Tim let the cat out of the bag, but yes, look, I just looked around and thought there weren't enough podcast shows, so
Only
we're
three.
gonna do a podcast. We're gonna do a podcast. Am I freezing again?
Little bit.
Damn it!
It's shrinkage.
I got to upgrade from the iPhone 1. I still got the iPhone 1. That's probably the problem.
Driven from Naples to friggin' Tampa in this show. So what do you expect? You're doing good. You're
you
holding
headed-
in there good.
You headed to see the table? Is there,
I drove by to the table, actually. Yeah, I did.
are there more realtors in Naples, Florida, or podcasts? It's pretty close.
More realtors. 9,000 realtors.
Yeah, there's only about 8,000 podcasts. So
No, there's only a couple, man. And like anything else,
Yeah.
I'm not worried about one extra podcast. But what I want to do is give people. You guys have done. You guys have inspired me. You really have inspired me, and I want to do a podcast that kind of peels back the curtain on what's really going on, not just in real estate, not just in businesses, but I want to peel the curtain back on the hidden, dirty little secrets that go on here in Naples, Florida. 6 degrees of separation, and we're going to do that with the show called Next Question.
yeah, people are gonna love to come on there and tell their dirty little secrets, Pat. That's a great podcast concept.
Dirty little secret.
Yeah, let me go out there and spill the beans. Pat, where are you gonna do your podcast?
Yep. I think about doing it from my car, from my iPhone 1.
Actually, that would be the best. It would be the best. Yeah. So
No, Pat's
that's
gonna
good.
be in
Hey,
Studio 239.
That's right, baby.
it is. I'm excited. By the way,
I would say-
all joking aside, pound for pound, I did a little research. The 239 Live Studio, the #1 podcast studio, not just in Collier County, not just in Southwest Florida, but in the entire state of Freedom Town, USA, Florida.
Love it.
Thank you, Pat.
No,
Yeah,
thanks, Pat. We
I-
love you.
Good talk.
I would say welcome to the family, but you're already part of the family, and to have you in here doing podcasts, we're all extremely excited. So big things coming. Mike Valdez,
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Pat
Thank you.
streaming from Iraq.
Iraq,
It looks
not
like it.
Ukraine or Iraq
it looks
or
like
Hey,
it.
Pat,
Third
get
world
well,
country.
but we appreciate you coming on, brother.
Yeah.
So much.
Pat always makes time.
Hey, man, listen. You guys stay healthy, man. Go make getting healthy great again. And always stay goated, man. Stay goated. Stay goated. Stay goated.
All right, brother.
Go get yourself Alfie's way and get better, my friend.
Love you.
Oh, guys. All right, man. He never lets us down.
He does not. He brings the energy. He
Always
definitely
brings it. Love
Even when
Dearborn.
he's sick, he brings the energy.
I honestly can't wait for his podcast.
Yeah,
His podcast is going to be.
He's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun time. Studio 239. We got a couple other announcements about people coming to Studio 239 to start doing their podcasts.
Yeah.
So we're going to make those later this week. And then we got one next week to hopefully ready to go. So big things here at Studio 239, Blake Becker.
That's right.
Big shout out to Michelle.
big
Gotta
stuff coming
come
up.
back in the studio again. We're all set up. Get you in here.
Yeah. Shout out to Mike Esposito.
Mike. Yeah, Big Mike.
Espo.
Streaming. Yeah, we got awesome studio. Looks great. Well, we're just getting started. We got a lot more to do. Blake
We're
Becker
getting there.
is in charge of the construction over here.
He
so,
looks like a construction
He
guy.
was here last night.
this is
He was here
how
last
we
night
dress
till
for
about
construction.
11:30, getting everything all looking good. But no, so yeah, get a little zoom up on Blake. Look at him with the shirt, the tie.
Would you let this guy remodel your house?
He does a great job.
He does a great job. The
You guys,
best.
we got some pretty good.
The best.
We got some pretty good stories today too.
We
by
do.
the way.
And we want to know your favorite lunch spot on the water, Southwest Florida. Michelle, what's a good lunch spot in Southwest Florida on the water? Espo, I want to hear from you. We already got a couple comments in there. And we're going to talk a little pizza, too, because March Madness, Naples Daily News has the annual bracket best pizza challenge. Your favorite spot got eliminated, Timmy G, Cosmos.
I know. Gianluca Cosmos got eliminated early on. And listen, we don't do these, but we feel it's very important that we keep up with what's going on in Southwest Florida, reference the pizza world, because I think all of us will agree. I don't think there's really a bad pizza except for you go to 7-Eleven.
Yeah, there's some bad pizza.
There's some bad
There's
pizza
some bad
out
pizza.
there.
What's the-
I think Domino's
How about
sucks.
the worst pizza
myself.
you guys had?
The worst pizza is worst pizza. I mean, yeah, 7-Eleven's not that great.
Never eaten a slice of 7-Eleven pizza, but I feel bad for those that have. I would say some of the commercial
Sorry, we're not
outfits,
so bougie like
franchise outfits, they're just
Domino's.
not-
I actually
none of
like
those
Little
are-
Caesars, though. I'm
don't.
sure you disagree,
I
but
don't.
I don't know. I'd love to freaking rip apart a pizza place that I could think of, but nothing comes to mind as far as just
I say the local places that we have here
are good,
great.
strong.
We have really strong local pizza guys.
Yes.
Yeah, we do. So we do. So right now we got in the Aurelio's, Napoli
next door.
Italian
Shout out
deli.
to Napoli.
Shout out to
Luigi's.
Napoli next door.
Pepe's.
Luigi's a great.
Pepe's is
crust,
one of
I
my
like the crust.
Pepe's is one of my
Shout out to
favorites. The crust is
Luigi's,
pretty good.
the Rabkin family, fans of the show. That pizza place has been around a long time, and
Luigi's.
yeah, they have good pizza there. So
So
big
does
shout out
Pepe's.
to
Pepe's
Luigi's.
is one of my favorites.
Pepe's is good. They've been around a while
They've been
too.
around for a long time.
Yeah,
And the crust. The
crust is great.
They got a great thin crust pizza. Yeah.
Lowbrow, which eliminated Cosmos. Have you ever had Lowbrow?
Love Lowbrow. Shout out to Chris Jones.
Yeah, Lowbrow is great. I out of all the Luigi's, Lowbrow, Napoli. I mean, there's some great Pepe.
Some fire pizza.
Some fire pizza.
Yeah.
I like Morbella's too. I noticed they
Mom
didn't make
says Cosmos at the pier.
Piers, yeah, I know. Cosmos is still there, but the pier is not. So, but yeah, Cosmos is always good. Matt says, Matt goes,
Cosmos
Cece's. I think he was talking about the bad one.
Cece's,
But
yeah.
it was good to take the kids, though.
My daughter loves
Oh.
Cece's pizza, so yeah, they're
Never
not
eaten it.
terrible though.
Hungry Howie sucks.
Yeah.
Mike.
Shout out to Hungry Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, I do like Little Caesars. It's not bad. I think the garlic butter is what makes Little Caesars in their crazy bread, but I personally don't think Little Caesars is that bad. The Costco has pretty good pizza too.
Yeah, we know about that.
Yeah, I'm just
we know
saying,
about
yeah.
that. Sam's Club. But yeah, I'm it's real hard. I mean, again, it all depends on what's going on in my life, but I can eat pretty much anything pizza-wise.
I know what we're having for lunch today. I'm freaking starving now.
Yeah.
Nice
Sounds
slice of pizza.
Patrick liked
loves
Little
Little
Caesars.
Caesars.
Mike, you got it.
New York
he
pizza
likes
pasta.
it for whatever reason. But
Blake
yeah.
Zap Becker.
Becker's Builders, bro.
That was that inside joke from the.
That's
Shout out to
right.
Pablo. I don't know if Pablo's watching.
Sab.
Pablo's been a cook at Outback for about 12 years and just randomly shouted out Becker Custom Builders in the kitchen while cooking, apparently. So
I don't know who's left. Who do you think is
New York
gonna win?
and Mike Esposito, New York
Yeah,
Pizza Pasta.
I like them. Yeah.
They were really good at when they first started. I just don't think it's the same. No disrespect. They're still pretty good, but when they first opened up, they were phenomenal. Joey D's is also on there. Joey D's does a good job.
Joey D's is real good.
Yeah.
Joey D's is real good.
They made the
Actually, those are very similar. I think Joey D's, New York Pasta and Pizza,
Mike,
and they're all pretty
I didn't
similar.
say Cisco Pizza. I said Costco Pizza. I didn't say Cisco.
Cece's maybe.
CC's.
Well,
Cut Patrick's mic off. I think we can probably do that. Let's see if we can do that.
That's enough out of you, Patrick.
We shut that mic off. Hey, so what? Hey, hey, Blake, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Tim Guerrette, how we doing, baby?
Hey, I like this show. This is pretty good. I gotta be really careful, though. I gotta be really careful.
Sab, what's your favorite pizza place? Oh, okay, Palumbo's. Palumbo's is really good.
Where's Palumbo's at?
They have a couple locations. The one I frequent is the one East Naples over across from Verona Walk, which I'm sure Sab's talking about. But I'm pretty sure they have a couple locations. You ever have Palumbo's?
I don't think I have.
No.
No.
It's a good spot.
I've had all these on here, but not Palumbo's.
You gotta get.
I don't know where that's at.
Check out Palumbo's. Palumbo's sounds like he did some crime back in the day.
Yeah,
Mike said he had a
Palumbo
typo.
crime family. The pizza connection.
Pizza guy.
The Pizza Connection.
You notice how
Down here on witness protection.
allegedly. Notice how serious Blake gets when he starts talking about food.
Oh, he does. Like,
passionate.
he's like-
I love it.
So let's take a look at these ones. Aurelio Napoli. Oh, by the way, Napoli Pizza is 50 feet away from our studio.
Hence why we put on 40 pounds.
We
shout out to
frequent-
Napoli.
They do a great job. Yeah,
We're looking.
You
We're
get
looking.
2 slices and a soda there for like $6.99.
Yeah, we're looking to get a sponsorship deal out of that, though.
Yeah.
We definitely. Would
I got
like
a
to
free
get-
slice the other day, so I think we're getting there.
We're getting there. We're
making
slowly working our
progress.
way over there. But Napoli's good. They're all over the place.
They have like 8, 9 locations.
Yeah, they're pretty
They
big.
do catering.
So, So what do we got now? We got. I'm going to go with. What do we have here? I like the crust.
So
I like the crust.
who would you
different
pick
type of pizza, but
to
I like
win the
crust.
bracket pizza challenge, Blake Becker?
I honestly
I'm gonna
think
put you on the spot here.
Lowbrow will climb up there.
Yeah,
I really do.
I do too.
Lowbrow
You
will
think
climb up. They got
Lowbrow
a
will
great-
get past Joey D?
Chef Chris Jones, phenomenal chef, went from high end, club chef to owning a really cool brick and mortar pizza place. Does phenomenal food. Has a really good way of just making pizza fun and tastes phenomenal. So I think he'll climb up there. And then I think, out of Luigi's Italian Deli, Aurelio's. I don't know.
Break it down.
I don't
You
know.
need to
I'm
know this
thinking
pretty quick.
Aurelio's has got a pretty big following, but I don't know if they'll make it.
I think April 7th or 6th is the day on it.
I
So
think
yeah.
Napoli or Luigi's might take that top spot.
Luigi's has an extremely loyal following, as you would expect for a pizza place that's been around about 50, 60 years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Matt Goodwin. He's got to go into the
Gotta
office.
roll.
But thank you so much, Matt.
Someone's
Continue
gotta
love
work
and
today.
support.
Yeah,
yeah,
someone's gotta work today.
we appreciate you, Matt.
No,
Matt's
no.
a good dude.
Yeah, that's great.
Big supporter of
Yeah.
the show. Politic and Jar Larry Love as well, one of our newest sponsors. So we appreciate you, Matt. What's that?
That was a plug.
Yeah, well, you
Built by Becker.
got to thank the sponsors. Keep the show going.
Got to keep it rolling.
Keep
Got to
it
keep
rolling.
the show rolling.
I agree, and I think Lowbrow Pizza, which is just phenomenal. Not just the pizza there, all kinds of good stuff. I think Lowbrow would probably take it home. Such a cool spot. Have you ever been inside Lowbrow?
Yeah, that's a good place. Yeah, it's a
Yeah, I
really
like
good
the
place.
setup
like
too.
it.
But
Yeah.
anything that has a Biggie mural on the wall.
You should bring
let's-
Chef Chris on the show.
Yeah,
I just
let's-
I just tagged
He's got some,
Lowbrow
really, he's
too.
got some
And
really
ma-
good stories.
And maybe what we could do is the winner of this thing can come in and bring us some pizza, or we could maybe show up at their show.
I think we show up
Yeah.
at the. I think whoever wins over here, these last two, we have to come and do a food review, pizza food review. Let's do it. Let's schedule that.
Yeah. Well, or when it gets down to the final 4, I don't know how many days between the winner selection. We go to those 4 pizza spots. We review them.
No
and
way
we
to
pick our own
lowbrow
winner.
from Meredith.
Man, you don't want to argue with Meredith. All right,
Oh,
Meredith.
man.
Whatever.
I mean,
Sorry.
pizza. It's whatever
subjective.
you. It's subjective.
It's opinionated.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's shoot over. We got a few more stories we want to get to because
I'm
we
freaking
usually end
starved
up
right now.
I know when you start talking pizza, I'm like, big changes coming to Waterside Shops. What are the changes?
Oh, yes.
Do we know?
Well, they've already
Some-
torn down Nordstrom's
Yeah.
Yeah, that place
to
went
make
down pretty.
to make room for Restoration Hardware, which is
Yeah.
going to be really cool.
Yeah.
They'll be doing some really nice high-end furniture, restoration hardware stuff. They're going to have a rooftop restaurant and
I was
bar.
just gonna say, 361 seat seafood restaurant. They're gonna have another couple other places in there, but big restaurant, seafood and steaks, I believe.
It's going to be great.
Making Waterside great again.
Does
Waterside already looks great.
Yeah,
Waterside is great.
They've taken really good care of that place over the years. Restoration Hardware. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? I mean, they're all over.
I don't know
right?
a ton. I honestly just learned recently because I had to ask questions about it. Being in the construction industry, design industry, I believe they offer. They're kind of like a nice furniture store, but they also have really cool hardware. So I'm not 100% what that means, but like really cool cabinet pulls and hinges and things that are a little bit more unique than your standard big box hardware store, but also high-end furniture and home furnishings. And I believe, don't count me on this. Don't. If I'm wrong, please let me know. If you come in and purchase like a furniture selection from them, like a decent amount of furniture, they'll include design services for free.
Okay.
So that means they're marking up their stuff pretty good if they're including the design stuff for free. But I think that's one of their selling points. That's what I learned over the weekend. I had to ask questions myself. It's a northeastern outfit, I believe, that's making their way down here.
Yeah, my daughter, when she said, "Oh my God, you're going to get one of those," and I'm like, "Yeah, we're going to get one." She was pretty excited about it. So
yeah,
but yeah.
Plus
We're
the
on it.
rooftop restaurant.
We're on it.
That'll be
You
great.
lost me at hardware.
Yeah.
Got me at hard.
Got you at hard.
Weird.
Yeah. So we got that one, Waterside Shops. And again, I go there. Usually I love to go to the Apple store. But you notice when you go
Really?
to when
Hold
you
on.
go when you go
Back
to
that train up. You love to go to the Apple
I
store?
do like the
Who
I
loves
do,
to
I
go
do
to the
like
Apple
the Apple store.
Like
Why?
5,000 people crammed into
I
a
do
building.
like going there though.
What do you
Fish
do?
I
there.
like all kinds of shit like that. Gadgets and
I
stuff.
like gadgets.
But I will
don't
tell
like
you though,
being
it's not
around
like
all
it
those-
used to be. You used to be able to go in there. Now
Apples.
you have to have an appointment. You have to have all
Yeah.
this crazy. It's kind of,
It's very busy in there.
but it is different.
There's
But I
like
do
security
going there,
to get
though.
in. You
I do
notice there's like a
going
You
line
hang
out
out at
front.
the Apple store?
I
No,
do.
You've
I
seen
like
it.
that.
It's
I
like a
that.
line out front. There's
Yeah.
security. You got to tip the guy $100 to get to the front of the line.
Well, you tip everyone $100. So
Yeah,
I don't know
Keep
about
my
that.
ice cubes cold, baby.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah.
my ice cubes cold.
Yeah. So, but no, that it's a good place to go to. What's your favorite store at Waterside Shops?
Mine?
Yeah,
Been a minute
you
actually.
go to Lululemon. Daughter likes
Ellie,
that.
Ellie, like,
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Lululemon.
she
Shout
loves
out.
Lululemon. Lacoste, is Lacoste
like
still in
the-
there?
I like
I used to
the
shop at Lacoste, but yeah, I guess Lululemon.
Saks
With
Fifth
my
Avenue.
daughter.
Saks,
Yeah, Saks is
That's why
nice.
you're dressed the way you
Look
are
at
and
you
dressed the
all.
way I am.
prime and prepped.
That's right.
I used to like this place.
Sweet Tomatoes. You remember Sweet Tomatoes?
I do remember Sweet Tomatoes.
Yeah. A similar concept is coming to a new Florida location. I'm surprised Sweet Tomatoes didn't make it because, from an overall health standpoint, you want to go somewhere quick, fast, and get something relatively healthy, depending on what you put.
I've noticed buffet joints just don't make it here in Naples, Florida.
It's a different crowd here in
Only
Naples,
Grant,
Florida.
Well, this guy just threw a shoe at someone outside.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
You
Or a rock.
throw it back.
Or something. He threw something.
The great thing about our studio, if you come out here and do donuts, we're gonna have a lot of fun because we're gonna be able to see. it.
Don't
We
tell my
could,
location.
we could in
Tell
the
you the
future be
location.
like the Today Show and have a live audience out here
Yeah,
with signs and
Some of the people that Patrick's hanging out with, we gotta watch out.
Ticketing us and
We're gonna
yeah.
be like guns. But yeah, so
No, that's a good point. Grand China Buffet's been around forever, which I don't know how.
yeah, but what side of town is that in? Let's go.
Hey, that side of town is improved.
that's
okay?
South Naples.
Yeah,
That used to be Kelly Road.
South
Is that-
Naples
so it's
in
still
East
open?
Naples.
It's still open over there.
Grand China Buffet is still open, and yeah, I mean, every now and then I'll get a wild hair to eat there, and then you're like,
Yeah, you look
why?
like someone that would go there.
Why? I don't. We just pissed off 40% of our fans. Thanks, Blake.
It's okay.
But then you're
You
like,
don't have
you kinda
haters, you ain't
regret-
doing it right,
Yeah,
baby.
no,
That's
no.
okay.
Well, they can hate. You just got to watch. COVID took out Sweet Tomato. Yeah, if that's the case, it would have taken a lot more restaurants. I think they were kind of struggling already before, but I really like Sweet Tomato. Now, I say from a health standpoint, but as you can imagine, Tim G, when I go to the salad bar, 4 different salad dressings. I think Blake's seen me at Spanky's, how I like to decorate my salad, put a little bit of everything.
Decorate.
Yeah.
Salad.
And you know the funny thing is Patrick's not bullshitting.
That- sound gay.
that line
That
in
didn't
itself
sound-
explains how weird you are with
And the
food.
crazy thing is,
He put soup on his Chinese food yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, and the
The
thing
things
about
that this man does with condiments is out there.
yeah, and he's not trying to do it to be funny. Like,
No,
Oh, no.
He
He
fucking really likes it. Like,
realistically
he is-
likes egg
he's
drop
a-
soup on top
yeah,
of his chicken fried rice.
He's, yes.
Jazz it up. Add a little more flavor.
He got some strangeness to him, that's for sure. Yeah.
He's check.
Michelle has to jump off, definitely. But jump back in next time, Michelle. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
jumping
Michelle.
on. Yeah,
I love having 7
COVID
views.
took them out.
right.
Sweet tomatoes. Yeah, I think that, but they were so good.
Sharka got me this.
Let me see that shirt.
Representing his
Shout out
homeland.
to Sharka bought me this
That's
shirt.
right. Thank you, Sharka, for making
Stop touching my
Jira
chest.
look great again.
I don't know about all that, but you know.
Oh gosh, that's good. But no, I really enjoy going there because it's all you can eat. When you go there, you know you're gonna get your money's worth. I used to like the soups and all that stuff.
Yeah, the
so,
soups are really good. They had like 6 different soups.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Love variety, and I'll mix wonton and hot and sour soup together too at buffets.
Yeah,
It's good. What's that supposed to mean, Blake?
What's that supposed to mean?
Sharka.
I said Sharka making Pat look great again. That's what I said.
Oh.
yeah. Anything you can do to make Pat
Look great. Yeah, he needs a lot of work.
There we go.
Getting there.
What's
He's
that
check.
supposed to mean?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
He's
yeah.
check.
I'm American, but with
Check.
Czech roots.
Check. Sharka, I got to be really careful what I say now, so I'm trying to be nice.
Shut
The
up, Tim.
The new Tim Jurette.
Shut up, Tim.
The new Tim
Shut
Jurette's
up.
coming. I'm here.
Tim, yeah, you're not gonna be able to help yourself. Give about 9:45. Drop a fucking dagger on Pat Jira.
Why not? It's fun.
I know.
It's fun.
Jason's Deli, yeah. Mike
You're my brother.
Mike, family like that who needs enemies. Mike Valdez, Jason's Deli. Jason's Deli's solid.
I like
They got a pretty good salad bar. Not as good as Sweet Tomatoes, but got good sandwiches.
Sharka says she was being mad because I was talking about him being weird with soup and rice. Is she agreeing with me?
I don't know.
No.
Oh, because I'm Czech, but Czech people don't eat like I eat, so I don't know what.
It's just
You got to clarify that,
guess.
Sharka.
Talk to you later, Sharka. Figure that out. Back to Jason's Deli, guys.
Good talk.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Sharka.
Yeah.
Snook Inn has a great salad bar. Someone just said,
I don't think.
Snook Inn does.
and that's another
Big
waterside
pickle
restaurant,
at the
a
end.
waterfront restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, waterfront. They're right there on
Snook
Marco
Inn.
River.
Yeah, completely redone, actually, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
they
I
just redid
the
it.
big, the big tiki hut's all redone.
We had a couple hurricanes clean out.
I
some
heard at one
restaurants.
point that place at Snook Inn was one of the largest grossing number financially.
Oh, I bet that place makes
in
a
Collier
killing.
County. So yeah.
They've been another place that's been around a long time in an institution. So yeah, favorite waterside waterfront restaurant in Southwest Florida. Favorite pizza place. Favorite buffet place. You ever eat at Golden Corral, Tim Jurette?
I do remember the Golden Corral.
I didn't say if you remembered it.
Have you eaten there?
Yeah, I've eaten
What do
it
you
and
think
remember
of-
it. I've been to. I mean,
I'm glad you remember it now. Do you remember eating at the Golden
Memory
Corral?
has been brought up 4 times.
hey,
Tim.
mom, these guys are picking on me. Hey, mom, I know you're listening.
Tim
These guys are picking
definitely
on me.
has a
Please.
memory issue. We're gonna
Please.
note to self.
Yeah,
Note to
please.
self.
Hey, that's all right. My dad passed with Alzheimer's. I hope you guys are having a good time. I hope you guys are having a blast. You guys are really good.
My grandfather
Patrick?
passed of
Yeah.
of
Hey,
demen-
thanks a lot,
dementia,
guys.
so I get it.
Thanks a lot.
I
I remember very
eventually
well.
will be
No,
losing
what
my
do you
mind.
what do you think of the Golden Corral?
The Golden Corral back in the day was freaking lifesaver to me. I mean, I don't know about
When's
you.
the last
but
time you ate there?
Where was there a Golden Corral? There was one in
Shit,
Fort
it was-
Myers.
I used-
Fort
I
Fort
used
Myers
to
is
go
the
to.
closest one, but like up
I
north,
used to work.
Georgia and stuff. They
You're
had
thinking
them
like
everywhere.
Ponderosa or something.
I used to
aren't
work at the
Ponderosa.
Ponderosa up in Fort Myers.
you? Really?
When I
Remember
said
that?
work
You
there,
said
I used to work there as security.
Steaks used to come out with that piece of plastic stuck inside of it.
Where,
Medium.
where Ponderosa? Ponderosa
Rare.
used to be good at one point, and
Yeah.
they went downhill though.
Yeah.
That's bringing
When
back
I was
my
a kid,
childhood.
when I was a
memories.
kid, going to Ponderosa was like a
treat.
a big deal.
Yeah, Ponderosa at one point.
soft
was-
serve ice cream.
Golden crapper.
Yeah, the
Golden
golden.
crapper.
Oh my God, that's what I ate at Golden Corral once, and that's all I remember. True story. Went there with Big John Calderon, and the line to go to the bathroom. I'm not even joking. There was just a line of people waiting to go to the bathroom at Golden Corral. So either they were shitting their brains out or doing drugs in there. I don't know, but
Probably both.
Or
It's a
comic,
golden corral.
it was Fort
Okay,
Myers.
and it's Fort Myers.
Yeah, so this is shout out to Fort Myers.
I'm going to go ahead and bring
Pakistan.
I'm going to go ahead and bring up Pat's
Shout out
name so
shout out
I
to
don't get in
Marcino
trouble.
Motel.
And also, my name, but most importantly, we have Blake Becker.
Classic.
Looking good.
Show.
Looking good. Blake
You
Becker.
kind of look like Dave from Relentless Hope when he shot the video down,
Yeah.
down here.
Down here. Yeah.
A cleaner version.
Yeah. I'm sure Dave's
I'm gonna
really
stop
like
Dave,
right
if
that.
you're watching, it's all Jira. Just want to let you know.
Yeah.
Still looking for my invite on your show.
Let's talk about big money. This is Blake Becker money. Vanderbilt Beach home
Becker
sells
Custom
for
Builders.
$10 million.
Mike Esposito said Rodizo Grill at Coconut Point.
Yeah.
What are
That's
you
the
talking
Brazilian
about?
place,
Yeah,
right?
but it's on the water, right?
I think this is good.
I think he's just talking about like a buffet.
Oh, all you can eat steak.
Oh, my mother's laughing at that. But all
you can eat steak.
Sizzler.
Yeah, I don't think they make
Ooh.
those anymore.
Sizzler.
That was a
Those
good
aren't
place.
around
That was
anymore.
my mother could tell you. We used to have I think it was a Bonanza. Remember that? One?
Bonanza.
That was like
Yeah.
Remember
That was
Pizza?
a big
remember,
deal.
remember Pizza Hut?
Ponderosa, Bonanza. I never been to a Sizzler.
Remember
but
Pizza Hut used to have like a little pizza buffet too, with like a little
Pizza,
salad bar.
Pizza Hut always had a buffet. Had a salad bar. You could go in. Your whole family would go into that.
It's like a dinner, like a
Oh yeah,
family
no, that
thing.
was a treat. You went to Pizza Hut.
Yeah, if someone brought back a concept like that, I think it would do really well, like a Sizzler style. Got D in the house.
D in the house. Our producer's in the house. She's ready to go.
No.
Look at her over there. She's checking out. Yeah, we're having a good time though. What's another?
Espo said that
Salad
Rodizo
bar?
Girl's got a
Oh,
good
the
salad
Rodizo.
bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do. They have actually have a pretty decent, and they bring a lot of different type meats out: chicken, pork, steak.
Yeah,
We know you like
you
meat.
like meat,
Jesus.
meat on the stick.
Yeah, just
They
meat
are
in
good though,
general.
Rodizo. And what's your favorite steakhouse out there too?
Geez, what's your favorite everything?
Yeah.
What's your
Get
favorite?
the comments going. Yeah. Top five.
What's your favorite
Top
comic book?
five. Let's get top
favorite
five.
football
We're in
team.
the
Five,
food. Well,
49ers,
Mike went to
50 Cent.
Mike, we got a 50 Cent story we'll get
Patrick's
to.
got two things going right now: 50 Cent and the 49ers. Everything else,
Well, the 49ers
And hip
suck.
hop. Hip hop.
yeah, and hip hop.
Oh,
But what else?
Shout,
What else?
shout out to my mom. You better be nice to
Oh.
me, Tim. She mentioned
Gee, I'm so
Ponderosa.
sorry.
Yeah, be
I'm
nice
being
to me. My
to
mom's
Patrick
watching.
today. I'm being nice to Patrick.
Ponderosa. My dad actually was a GM of Ponderosa in Waterbury, Connecticut for years. So
Ponderosa.
yeah, that's when it was good.
Ponderosa was now
At one point, yeah,
when
like most places, they kind of start off good and they go.
What was the one? I think it was Bonanza or something. Where
I
you
don't
went
know,
through
Tim.
and you get like you get like a little plate, and you decide if you want a dessert at the end, and you roll through with a tray.
That was all of them, wasn't it?
Well, there was one that you go up to like a salad bar, but I think did they have it in both of them?
I think so.
I think that's at the senior living
Yeah, that's
facility
probably
you eat
one
at.
of those. Yeah, I know.
His memory's
At
gone.
least I can eat. At least I have teeth and I can eat Jello.
His memory's gone.
Jello. So yeah. Connor's Steakhouse.
Connors, Fort Myers, right?
Never been to Connors.
Yeah, my wife and I went there.
Good stuff.
It's decent.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
$10 million home in Naples.
Yeah, let's talk about this. Vanderbilt Beach home sells for $10 million up there on Vanderbilt. But I think that's kind of like the average price in Naples.
I was going to say that's not even that expensive these
I don't know why
these
that's
days.
big news. Yeah, I mean that's a
Well, David Dorsey was probably looking for some stuff to talk about.
no. We popped that on there. It
Just kidding.
was one of the headlines, local news. But yeah, it's about the average price. And
It
how
depends,
much
on how
work?
many, it depends on how many square feet it is, but
Yeah.
you know, it's right there. It's right there for the average
You
price.
do a
now.
lot of work on Vanderbilt Beach, Blake.
I do a little bit of work in that area. More Park Shore, Pelican Bay, Bonita Bay these days, but all same kind of neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Beautiful home.
Yeah, so Diana's on. They should auction it. I have $10 ready.
Oh,
on the house.
you got to add. There's an M behind that 10D.
Yeah, 10. There's a little bit of money on that one. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about your little event. You
Chef
your
Becker's
little
food
trip
review.
over to Turtle Club
Turtle
yesterday.
Club.
Here we go. So normally we do food review Fridays with Chef Blake Becker, but because of the generosity of the Turtle Club yesterday, we decided to do a nice little picture shout out and give a big thank you to the Turtle Club restaurant for showing us so much love. And so we were lucky enough to get there a little early before our guest arrived. And Mr. Pat, Mr. Larry, and I shared some oysters, as you can see here in the picture.
What type of oysters are those?
These were northeastern oysters. They were delicious. They were about medium size, nice and briny, fresh, clean. What did you think of the oysters, Pat? You had about 7.
I did. I might have had 9 actually,
Yeah.
but very juicy, flavorful. As you can imagine, I put everything on it: the horseradish, the cocktail sauce, even that vinegar that they serve with that. A lot of places don't do that.
Yeah, mignonette sauce.
And you made a good point. They're about medium size. They're not too big. And you said this time of year they are not. And why is that?
Well, water's colder. There's limited supply. Some of the southern oysters are a lot bigger, a lot juicier, a lot more meatier. And then of course the northern ones, it's super cold right now, so it's not like summertime. They're not growing. They're just a little bit smaller. So, but these ones are absolutely
packed flavor
delicious.
though, yeah.
Tons of flavor,
Mm-hmm.
and they weren't skimpy. You know what I mean? When you're paying whatever it is, $4 an oyster or whatever, you want to get your money's worth. So, so it was good. They were delicious.
So in Florida, this time of year, where are they getting them from for the most part? Mostly up north? Because I know Apalachicola, they have all those oysters there. Usually this is a good time to get them, though. January, February, and March.
Yeah, when it's cooler.
In Florida,
yeah. When the water's cooler.
It's a little safer.
Yeah. I'm a northeastern oyster person. I'm not a big fan of the West Coast oysters. There's some that are okay, but they're always usually a little smaller. But northeastern. I'm a northeastern seafood kind of guy. I like the Maine lobsters. You know,
obviously.
Yeah, Florida
I like
lobster's
cod.
terrible.
Yeah, I like.
You like what?
I like cod. You know, it's a northeastern fish.
It's a little bit. Florida lobster is a little bit tougher, but it depends on how
Florida
you cook it and
lobster's
the type of year.
It just doesn't. The texture of it's not the
time
same.
of year.
The
I should
flavor,
say.
yeah.
Now look at this crab salad. Okay, this crab salad.
Who ordered that, Blake?
I don't know, but it was absolutely beautiful. Look at the presentation of that crab salad and the amount of crab. That might be a whole can of crab. I think they just turned the whole can
It looks
right
like
on top of that tomato.
Give it a little shake.
Yeah.
There's 3 people.
Sprinkled some stuff on top, and I mean, like, what a presentation! What a great amount of food that they gave you there, Pat.
Yeah, no, that was
And the tuna tacos were to die for. Little crispy wontons with a mixture of some tuna and some caviar and a little bit of sliced pepper and ginger on top. That was delectable.
really complimented the taste palates really well.
It did. It went right well with our virgin pina colada.
It did. It did.
I felt like I was on vacation for about 2.5 seconds.
I know, it was nice. The seafood Neapolitan, fantastic dish. I think 3 people at the table commented. They're like, "Wow, there's a lot of crab on that," and the shrimp, and then the sauce dressing really.
We know you like crabs, so I mean that's
well.
You spent a lot of time getting rid of them. Man.
What?
Sorry, Mom.
I'm trying to do a food review. You guys are over here fucking around, trying to get places to come on board with us, and you. No, really.
Yeah, normally these are sponsored events. Okay, just a shout out to the Turtle Club. Normally these food reviews are sponsored. The restaurants invite us. We do a nice food review for them, and we get to showcase them on the show.
Get something one time, and they label you.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Maine.
Mom shouts out Maine.
Yeah, we
love it. Maine lobster.
Timmy G from Maine.
Yeah,
right.
my hometown, Bangor, Maine. We got people walking around here.
Bang what?
You gotta be really.
This guy looks shady.
Listen, hey, when we're here in the studio, we can see outside. We're like, oh goodness.
Please don't come.
I'm glad that D locked the door.
I know next
You
door's
get
listening.
that clock ready.
This guy, he's the one that's gonna fix our toilet.
I can only imagine who's going to eventually start showing up outside of these windows.
Yeah, we're like, oh, geez, this is like, we don't have security
This is
like
gonna
they
be
do.
great.
Hey,
at
we're going with the whole
studios.
death row vibe.
We're
right?
gonna need Drew to run security for us.
Yeah, no.
What else do we have here at the Turtle Club, Blake?
They got some good
Chef
food.
Blake, yeah.
Okay,
that was
now
really good.
here we are. So now we're looking at my sandwich on the left, which is a phenomenal red grouper, black and red grouper sandwich with the French fries. Very simple, but yet I love a nice fish sandwich when I'm sitting on the water. And then Larry had the seafood croissant, which was, as he said, croissant. Okay, it was delicious. French. That's French. Tim would understand what I'm saying. Croissant.
No.
So
Croissant. I was wondering whose hand's that right there.
Oh, that's Jack. That's Jack, the actor from Los Angeles.
Oh, I was gonna say. I was like, that was interesting. I didn't know if you had a little bracelet on.
I do, but I don't know.
You guys all right over
looking-
there? So that was the seafood croissant, and that was the blackened red grouper sandwich, both with French fries, both delicious. So
You
those.
didn't get a picture of Steve's dish?
I did not. He had the tuna bowl though, which I had
It looked really good.
a few weeks before with my daughter. It was phenomenal. He enjoyed that. He actually had the tuna bowl and the fish sandwich.
Yeah.
He said he was watching his weight or his diet or something like that, and I could tell he was definitely watching it. But yeah, no, he said it was great. He said one of the best tunas salads he've ever had. Tuna poke bowl. I said it was one of the best ones he's ever had, and this guy travels the world
Everywhere, yeah.
and so shout out to the Turtle Club for making a wonderful tuna poke bowl and providing us with a wonderful spread yesterday.
VIP service.
VIP service, yeah, we got taken care of, and our server was
Phenomenal.
on point, man. This guy, he really took care of us. There was supposed to be 6, ended up being 8 people at one table, and they just kept accommodating us. They just kept taking care of us. They kept bringing out everything that everyone requested, and even dealing with us being a little bit rambunctious and rowdy at times. So
Got a lot of what was cool, Steve was FaceTiming some people.
pretty big celebrities were FaceTiming in at the lunch, which was cool. And so
some really cool people got to FaceTime with. Shout out Pistol Pete, Tony Yayo, a couple people Larry knew. So that was really cool.
Yeah, definitely a cool experience.
Doing big things here in Collier County.
Trying.
Yeah.
He made a special trip to Naples, but seemed to said, "Wow, Naples is impressive."
I really liked it.
Talking about possibly getting
Blake got the connections over there, so
that wasn't me.
Yeah.
That wasn't me. I just took care of the restaurant.
Yeah, but,
Johnny Fraudo.
that's what I'm saying,
Johnny
though.
Fraudo brought the guest. Shout out to Johnny.
but the Turtle Club getting that,
yeah. No,
Getting a
Blake put
good
that
spot over
together.
there.
He
That's-
got the best seat in the house.
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
That's what happens when this team comes together.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but last night,
I know you don't know about us.
I was pretty impressed with this. This rescue, I guess. But these guys are dropping down in the Gulf of Mexico.
I thought that was Pat Dearborn.
Just a little
live.
bit south of Tallahassee.
That's a live video of Dearborn doing a cold plunge.
Yeah, cold plunge. Yeah,
in Atlantic
that's it.
Ocean.
on SpaceX.
Yeah, pretty soon.
Shout out to Elon Musk.
What was your
Him and Gary Brecker are about to pop out of this thing.
bang?
The ultimate
Shout out to
humans.
Gary. Yeah,
What's your thought on that? The whole thing going up and grabbing.
I think it's great.
Grabbing the
I think
astronauts.
that's what our responsibility to our people serving in the International Space Station deserve to come home after 300 days.
Well, I think they're originally supposed to be gone for about 9 days. So how do you tell your family hey, how about 9 months?
It's been 9 months.
I used to do that on my benders. I told my wife I'd be home at 10 o'clock and pop back a week
10
later.
months later?
Yeah.
That's a good question. When are you at the point okay, I'm 2 hours overdue, I'm 4 hours overdue at home, and then you say the next day you're like, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Well, usually by that point you just say F it.
Yeah.
Really?
You might as well. You're already in
I
trouble.
might as well enjoy this run because when I get home, I'm going to face the music, so I'm going to enjoy it.
You might as well get all you can get in.
Because I'm 15 minutes, and I'm like,
You feel bad.
yeah.
And you're so prompt, and I am too when sober. So I can appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, time seems to fly when you're under the influence.
Yeah, you're under the influence.
It goes by real quick. Time seems to fly when you're high.
Time flies. Yeah, we can't get those T-shirts made.
Watching high.
Time flies by.
What was that?
guys
while
are
high.
What was that Tupac song?
You're on a
Watching high,
really
getting
good
high,
winning
watching
streak
time
right
fly.
now. You guys are on a really good winning streak.
No,
right now.
we're clean sober, baby. We drink virgin pina coladas.
Virgin is the key word.
Mike,
for Patrick.
Got to go, fellas. Great show today. Thank you so much. We're going to be around for about another, believe it or not, about another hour.
Freaking exhausted.
How are we going to do that? But Pat Dearborn tired us out early on.
Thank you,
Watching Pat
for wearing us
Dearborn.
out at 8:17 this morning. That was
Watching
great.
Pat Dearborn drive around Naples, Florida, wore me out.
Yeah, rule number
He was
one.
doing a tour
If
of
you come on our
Ukraine.
show,
And it was
no
in the
driving.
text.
No driving.
No driving.
And me, put him on.
A stand for your phone. Yep.
Yeah,
Or
try
your
to get
computer.
yourself looking good when you come on.
And
and,
dress appropriate. Now he dressed fine. He
No,
dressed-
Pat
he
always
dresses
looks good, but I'm
He
just
dresses
saying,
good. Yeah, he was
we
looking good.
need you to have a good connection, all those things.
Pat
but
Dearborn
Pat's
would tell
driving
you
down the road.
rules are meant to be broken.
Yeah, no.
Next question.
Yeah. Turtle Club.
Turtle Club. Love the Turtle Club. Great, phenomenal lunch. We're going to do a food review tomorrow. All of us, actually.
What time is that?
1:30.
one more look at that.
Can we
really
push that
good
back
food.
a little bit?
We could probably push it back.
All right.
What?
I got an estimated one.
This is an interesting story.
Andrew Tate.
You familiar with this guy, Blake?
Tell me about this
I've
jackwagon.
seen him a little bit.
Yeah.
He was just at the UFC fight with all
Gary
the boys.
Brecka?
Yeah,
Was he really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
both the
we should
brothers.
ask Pat about
Yeah,
that.
both the brothers were there. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dearborn was talking to him.
But
Ah.
he made a bunch of money after the governor said, "Hey, we don't want you here.
Like $1 million.
and we're gonna
or
lock you up."
something, right?
Um,
He's not
Yeah,
welcome
they
in
got
Florida.
kicked out of Florida.
He's not welcome in Florida.
Yeah, they got kicked out. They were here. I guess they're in
but
Miami.
but he's still here. He said, "Screw you."
Is Miami in
Arrest me.
Florida?
Arrest me. Take me to jail. But what are some of the charges? I think he's got like sex trafficking.
Sex trafficking, yeah.
How's he out on bond?
Yeah, but all that stuff was allegedly, and I don't know if they. That was in Romania.
Yeah, it was in
everything's,
Romania.
everything's alleged.
It was like one of
the
those
show.
things. If you fly someone from the United States
That's
to a
it.
party
We talked about this.
to a party in Romania with the intent of possibly having sex with them, it's considered sex trafficking.
We talked
So
about
it's
this.
I'm not involved in it. I don't know a ton about the case or the law, but he from what they're saying is that there was no foul play. But I guess that'll have to play out in court.
Seems like he's got kind of a bullseye on him too. For he's definitely out there and brash. So
He is.
I don't know if that's part of it, but because we had talked about that because my fascination with the Diddy trial, and I heard a lawyer speak and said sex trafficking now can be considered. Someone in Arizona and you fly him from Arizona to wherever with the sole purpose of having sex with them, that could be considered sex trafficking.
We need a lawyer. We need someone like
yeah.
Matt Goodwin or
Well,
something
Matt
to come on and really
Goodwin,
read
Steve
the law.
Martin,
'Cause we're
Mike
a bunch
Colombo.
of knuckleheads that have never set foot into a law library.
Maybe we'll do
to-
Law Mondays with
to
Colombo or Martin.
We can ask some questions. That's
Yeah,
what we
let's
need.
find out
People
what's
call in,
really
ask a few
the
questions.
law because we're
Yeah.
just dummies in front of like.
Well, and the thing is, too, is I know that the sex trafficking laws, obviously here in the state of Florida, we always have a thought of what that looks like, right? Bringing people in from, a foreign country, bringing them in, Florida and using them as maybe a prostitute or somebody to gain money, but not always the case, right? Or what happens if like Andrew Tate flies somebody over thinking that he's going to be able to have sex with these people and it doesn't happen?
Yeah, see, I think a lot of
I mean,
people don't like him because he's verbally and vocally honest about what he's doing.
Yep.
And because he says, yes, I'm going to bring people over, I'm going to have a party, and our intent is to have sex with them. So by doing that, being publicly vocal about that, there's a bullseye on him. And then once you've said that, if that law is true, that then becomes sex trafficking because he's flying women to his parties to have sex with them. So don't know if any of this is true. It's alleged. It's outside of my pay structure.
We need to have a
skill
allegedly
levels, so-
button.
Allegedly,
Just a button.
allegedly. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, all these are alleged. So when we talk about these people, we're alleged.
And we want to know what do
Don't
you got?
reflect.
What do you guys think of this whole Andrew Tate situation? So go ahead and comment below. And then also speaking of which, Steve brought this up, and I watched it last night. Did you see Kanye West reached out to Diddy in prison, and Kanye West has actually been helping take care of Diddy's kids and helping him out. And Diddy said, "Wow, you're literally the only person that's helped me out and communicate with me. Not all these other alleged brothers, friends." So I thought that was kind of interesting, especially Kanye West is the one that kind of outed him about 4 or 5 years ago that he was working with the feds and just shitting on him. So very interesting that Kanye West is your, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing nowadays with shit
care of
Kanye
your
West
kids,
is involved. Yeah, just, helping him with stuff. But interesting phone call.
Yeah, I see this Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, P.
I don't think
Diddy,
he's with her.
all that,
Why-
all these things, and
Why are you bringing Kim Kardashian into it? Sorry.
Pat, sometimes it's just like the time. I see all the nonsense between all these families and everything that just that goes on. It's
Kiss of death, the Kardashians. Anyone who's dated
yeah. I
a
mean, it gets nonsense. I mean, fighting over stupid things, and then ultimately you're dealing with the kids. You're dealing with these kids that are involved with this, and they treat these kids like pawns. So yeah, I don't like any of it.
Agreed.
Anything else to add, Pat?
No, the Kardashians are a kiss of death. That's for sure. Now, what else?
What
we got,
do the
Tim?
Kardashians have anything to do with it? Do they have
Well,
anything
you
to do
just brought her in the Diddy Kanye thing. I don't know
she was married to him.
I know.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
The Collier Fair is
Back.
What to know about emissions, prices, rides.
This is
and more.
Patrick's story because he was bringing this up because the price of the games
What
has
is
got
it?
you
It's gone up?
shaking you a little bit. When you
How much do you remember? How much they used to be? Obviously, right?
I don't go to fairs, but I mean, it's been a long
You've
time.
never been to the fair?
Since I've been, like,
I know. Well,
14.
you probably go to freaking Disney VIP resort. I get it, but some of us, still take our kids to the fair.
So how much has it gone up?
How much do you think? Like
How much was it?
How much was it?
How much was it? How much
do you
was it
remember
when you thought it was normal?
$1.
$1
It
for
was
what?
$1 for any of the game. You play the games to try to win like a teddy bear or whatever.
$5.
$10
$10.
a game.
what about $10 darts?
Carnies are coming
How
up.
much 10
let me
darts
tell you.
costing you if you want to pop the balloon?
$10. It cost $10 when it took my daughter to the Fort Myers
For
fair.
one time.
Well, you get like 3 shots, but yeah,
That's
it was
crazy.
$10. Either that, or I was being freaking ripped off. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they saw you.
They
Coming.
got me.
Yeah,
some
those carnies are
fuckers.
smart, bro.
Yeah.
They saw, like, look at this chess guy. We're gonna get him.
And
They got me.
What do they give it? What do they
They
give
left
it?
like $300 at the
What are they giving up for toys?
Could have gone to Disney World for that kind of money.
Could have went to freaking I don't know what. There's really no toy stores, but you could have went to the store, bought it for like $3 or $4.
Toys R Us?
Yeah, you're
There's
talking
no more
about
Toys R
You're
Us.
talking about a $5 stuffed animal, maybe a $2
Yeah,
stuffed
yeah.
animal. So they're getting you.
You're good.
They're getting you. For
The
sure.
margins are good.
The margins are
on-
good if you're a carny. if,
Margins are.
if you're looking for a business to get into, sounds like being a carny is the way to go.
Let's go get a booth and freaking set up
Shout out
shop.
to,
Does anybody know
all
what
the
Becker
carnies.
Custom Builders.
Does anybody know what the fair costs to get in this year? Is it $20?
It's
20 bucks?
it was on there. It's like 20 Thursday or like 12.50 and
Just
then
to walk
$20
in.
on $20
Oh, wow.
on the weekend. Yeah, $20.
Do
And then you want to get the
do you
wristband.
get a
That's
wristband?
$40.
Whoa.
And your food is 34.
Whoa.
So you're already $100 in before any games. Yeah.
Go with Blake.
No thanks.
Go with
You
Blake.
want to let's spend the day.
Do not want to spend
Patrick will spend
another
the
day
day
with Patrick.
Let's go.
So so how many? So the fair is
I'll do the
10
real.
days, right? March 20th through the 30th.
You ever worked the fair as police
I
officer?
have. I worked it. I think it was like 16 years straight.
16
Wow.
years
Worked
straight.
Worked the fair.
Hey, people get out of hand at the fair?
Of course.
Well,
they
we
do.
used to have a big
We're
problem.
talking about
with our-
Golden Gate.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well,
We used to have big. We
six
used,
L's.
we used to have big problems at the gate, like people
Yeah.
taking in weapons, and then we put metal detectors up there, and that just the thought of them having to come through a metal detector prevented a lot of problems. But yeah, initially when we first started out there, it was a pain in
How
the
about
ass.
concealed carry? Can you do that? Now?
No, not at the fairgrounds.
Not at a
the
public
fairgrounds. Yeah,
event like
they
that?
tell you to keep your weapons in the car.
Got it.
Yeah, because it is. They have a fair board.
Okay.
And controls and rules and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
fair board. I like
yeah,
that.
they're pretty. That's
Should
pretty.
be-
it's
I heard
it's
they're
like
fair.
It's like a. It's like a.
Stern but fair.
It's like a.
Stern, but very
it's-
fair.
It's like a pretty big deal with the fair board over there. If you're on
Yeah.
the fair board, it's kind of like a
Shake
big
Shack.
deal.
I got excited about this one. Tim could tell you. I saw this. I'm
Very first Shake Shack in Naples.
Yeah, so I
Myers.
some research and stories in the morning going through stuff. And it said I saw 10 cities are getting a Shake Shack. So let me click on. I go, oh, Naples, Florida, in Mercado.
Come on.
Let's go.
I love Mercado.
Great shakes.
The Shake Shack's good too.
Yeah.
We used to go
Shakes, burgers, and more.
up in Atlanta a lot, and then Nashville, and then now they're down here. So when I go visit my daughter, be at Shake Shack.
Shake Shack solid.
I could do a shake and a burger.
Oh, I'm freaking starving.
What's that? What's like a shake and a burger at Shake Shack go for? About $20?
I actually don't even think it's that bad.
I don't know if it's at Mercado. It's probably gonna be like a $7 shake,
Yeah,
a
$10
$15 burger, and
You're not selling $7.99 value meals.
probably
at
$30
Mercado.
for a burger. and
Their
a shake.
shakes are good though.
Let's just be real.
Remember the counter? The counter was at Mercado.
Counter, I like the counter.
I did
It's
too.
okay.
I thought they were pretty solid.
Yeah, they were good. And then I think you sat down and you built your burger and checked off
Yeah,
the
checked off
boxes
that.
and so on.
I know you love that.
Pretty good.
Any
box
place where
was
you
fun.
could pick
You just-
all the condiments and all the sides, Patrick Jira will be there with a 5-star review.
I remember I took my daughter and her friend to the counter, and they were like, I was checking off all this stuff, and they were like, 7, 8.
How many? Hold on, let me ask you, because how many items do you put in your omelet when you're at an omelet station?
Well, usually limited to 3. At some places, but if I can have unlimited, 6 to 8.
Yep, the chefs hate when you do that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well,
Shout out to the chefs making
loaded
omelets.
it
then
up.
don't get out of the omelet business.
Get out of the
And
Customer's always right.
yeah, customer's always right. So make sure when you
Customer is not
make those
always right.
orders, But the thing is, like Patrick, when you go to lunch with him or you go to dinner with him, it's always like
It's an experience.
which is fine.
It makes it fun.
Don't get upset.
That's what the girl said.
But it's always like something a little bit extra you need.
And I'm not doing it. I'm honestly not even doing it.
It's not
to try to
malicious.
I'm not.
It's not malicious. It's just part of his character. It's weird.
I
That's
don't
why
know-
it's
I don't
easy
know
to
if
pick on
that's
you.
worse if that's part of my. I have a sophisticated taste palette, and I like it for its experience a variety of different flavors. So
Blooming onion. You get a blooming onion. Yeah, blooming onion.
I like to.
I can't wait.
arouse-
I can't-
I like to arouse my taste palette with a bunch of different flavors.
You heard it here first. He likes to arouse his taste palette.
Sophisticated.
Sophisticated taste palette.
sophisticated.
Sophisticated. And my mother throws in there that when I was a teenager, I used to work at the Bangor State Fair. Yep, I did. And a lot of Joey Chitwood Auto Thrill Show, all those people, Barbara Mandrell. That was it. That was Barbara Mandrell, big country singer. Used to do that. And then the WW. Patrick's afraid to say anything. WWF, I think it was called then, used to come all at the fair.
Yeah.
And so that was all good.
What wrestler sticks out that?
Oh,
this was at the anyone?
TJ Strongbow was one of my favorites,
Okay.
and then obviously Andre the Giant.
Oh, Andre
Andre,
Giant.
yeah.
Yeah. But I've seen him many times. I used to work there. So my friend's dad, Kerry Wilson, he used to run the auditorium. So I'd work $20 a night out at the back door, so people couldn't prop the door open and sneak in. So I'd stand there. But all the wrestlers used to come in. And Bob Backlund, you ever
Oh
remember
yeah, I
him?
remember that. That guy was a
He
whack
had
job.
that wheel. He had that wheel, and he was in the back doing.
He was a
But
kid.
it's so funny. Those guys would be out there like talking to me, and the next thing you know, they're in the ring fighting with the show with their buddies. So
It's called entertainment, then.
yeah, entertainment. But yeah, so Shake Shack. coming to
Shake Shack,
Naples.
exciting. Maybe we'll do when they open up.
I'm ready. Yeah,
Food review.
we're gonna be doing a lot of food reviews, people. So if you are interested in having us come to your restaurant and do a food review, not only will we come and bring our energy, our positivity, and our excitement, we will bring our camera crew. We will take lots of pictures. We will do clips and post about your restaurant, and we will highlight you right here on 239 Fun Friday Food Reviews.
Yeah, we're
So
doing one. We gotta go invited to a couple places
we've
already.
already been invited to a couple restaurants. So the sponsorship opportunity to have us come out and do a food review is in motion, and we are excited to keep this thing rolling.
Absolutely. Just have your condiments ready when Pat Gyra's in the building.
If you have a list with lots of things on it, Patrick will be
put it on
excited.
the
I'm
table,
telling you
yeah.
right now that restaurant will be highly reviewed.
That's
I like a variety. I like my condiments. like my
we've got to
women.
really figure this out though now. How we're gonna deal with it if a restaurant just sucks?
We're going to tell them.
We're gonna blast them.
Yeah,
All right,
bring your A game.
be ready to do it.
There's not too many out there that suck.
No.
Naples is blessed. We got a lot of great restaurants in Naples. We got a lot of great restaurateurs, and even some of the corporate outfits. Like we've been invited by one of the corporate outfits this week. So I mean, we're excited to just get out there and do more, more entertainment, but also just get 239 live at different locations, and more to come. And it's going to be fun.
And shout out to Tigger's Restaurant for sharing your food review.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, going to be at the Perry Hotel tonight, actually, the private invite grand opening hosted by Joe Nugent. For those of you
Joe
that
the
weren't
Home
invited,
Pro.
I'm sorry about that, but luckily my media team will be allowed to follow me. So those that are going to be coming will be able to participate in that, which would be great.
Yeah, you have a handsome median team.
Yeah, he's not bad.
On it. They're good.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Your medium team.
Medium.
Media.
Medium.
Yeah, they're my
medium,
psychic medium.
Medium.
They're the ones that really give me all the business, the psychic mediums. They're great.
Medium. What can you buy in Naples for $1 million?
Nothing.
Oh shoot, we got community service deputy pulling in. What can you buy in Naples?
I'm not here.
You're getting ready.
The door's locked, bro.
You're
The
getting
door's
ready
locked.
to go.
Tim's gonna have to open the door for him.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to see what's going on. You guys are gonna have to carry the show.
Holy
So yeah, we don't know. Usually when the deputy pulls in, you're like, oh no, here we go. But $1 million in Florida. This is Golden Gate Estates. There's a
good chunk of land.
Several $1 million.
Yeah, no, that's about. I mean, believe it or not, those estate lots out there, they're drawing some bucks these days. 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath.
That's actually a pretty
2,100 square foot, 2.7 acres. Designed for both comfort and functionality. Saltwater pool, dual entry, large workshop, car lift for storage or projects. Plenty of space for boats, trucks, RVs, and animals. Unique blend of privacy and convenience. $1 million.
Well, the reason we put this up there is we want to let people know, like, hey, listen, $1 million does not buy you much.
2,100 square foot.
Yeah, 2,100
in Golden Gate Estates.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's you're looking at what per square footage.
I mean, a house like that, like
$1 million.
Vanderbilt or Creighton,
it's $4 million.
Yeah, easy, right?
2,100 square foot house off of Neapolitan right now is selling for $3.8 million.
Yeah, big bucks. Now, if you were to get a house like this, $1 million,
that's a tear down.
$1 million,
$1
million house out in the Estates. You as a contractor, what would be some of the very first things that you would do to improve it, depending on what needed?
Depending on its location,
where do people
tear
put
it
their
down
money?
and build something bigger that would sell.
Even in the States,
100%.
You do that. You
I mean, like I said, I don't know where this one's at, so it would depend on where it's located.
Yeah, because the Estates is
we're
definitely
actively looking for properties like that, not for $1 million, but there's some for less where you can tear them down, build a 6,000 square foot estate home, and then you have something, because people do want bigger homes with land.
Yeah,
but no one's gonna. I mean, not that $1 million is a lot, not a lot of money, but for 2,100 square feet.
That's a small house.
So if you have something that's attractive, like if you take a piece of property like that, which is, has the saltwater pool, it has the shop, like all those other things that are attractive, tear down the house, build a 5,000-6,000 square foot estate home. Now you might have a, $4 to $7 million property or something that someone would with that kind of money would want to buy. They want the exclusive home. They want the, gated house. They want to be able to come in and have a shop or a place to collect cars or whatever. It sounds like this one has those possibilities. So,
yeah, and a lot of people are in that dilemma. Like, hey, should I tear this down? Should I keep the property? What do I pay? So,
I'm actually going to an estimate Friday for that exact same thing. Guy bought a house in Naples Park. Either wants to do a full renovation or tear it down and build new, depending on what what the price difference is going to be.
Yeah, Naples Park's another difficult one to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teardowns in Naples Park.
Yeah. Well, they're building some really nice houses in Naples Park, but you still have the older Naples Park homes that are there. 1,800, 2,200 square foot homes, low level, low ceilings. So, but they're on the west side of 41, so it's prime property.
Absolutely.
Yeah, anything west of 41, you're in pretty good shape.
What else we got, Tim?
I just sold that one over in Royal Harbor. Yeah. Which it was exactly that scenario where somebody paid close to $2 million for it. The house was built in 1978. Yeah, 1978. And they're just trying to figure out, but they're gonna probably end up spending $350 just to get it up to where they want it. And
you're gonna remodel it.
And ultimately, if they tore it down, they'd probably be in just the same shape. So,
well, the good thing is there on the water, if you tear it down and build up to code and up to
you get your money back.
You can make
tenfold, baby. Over time.
Yeah. What do we got here, Tim?
What do we got here?
Brevard County man charged with 20 misdemeanors for prohibited reptile violations.
I like a good reptile violation.
Do you? Well, how about 20 of them?
Sounds like
that's a little out of hand. And this is the problem here. This is a legit problem in Florida, the Everglades. People getting animals like this, pythons and all kinds of crazy shit.
Invasive species. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They're buying these whatever they are.
Yeah.
And then they're unfortunately letting them go into our environment where they will thrive and be invasive and mess up the ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's really not good.
It's a big problem, and especially in Southwest Florida, the Everglades. And this guy just, can you imagine Blake, you probably like to party at this guy's house. 20 prohibited reptiles. And this guy's
Sounds like a good time.
sounds like a good time.
This guy knows how to party.
Well, and a lot of people don't realize, but when was the last time you saw roadkill on Old 41 or even on 75?
Great point. You don't.
Yeah, you don't see roadkill anymore because
They're
these
eating it.
pythons are snapping up every mammal in the Everglades.
I used to see
In the Chinese restaurants.
Yeah, right. That's true too. We have a little pickup crew.
I used to see dead raccoons almost every other day, right on the side of the road. Armadillos, possums. I can't tell you the last time I saw a raccoon.
You kill them, we grill them. Roadkill Cafe.
Either that, or they're popular items in restaurants. But yeah, you don't see them. You see a lot of rabbits. Rabbits.
Yeah, but those are mostly like in town. But out in the
a lot of
States,
rabbits in my neighborhood.
and a lot of people think that they're like way out in Everglades. No, if you go, I think one of the largest pythons ever caught or ever harvested in Collier County was at Collier Boulevard in 41.
Wow.
And that's a big commercial industrial
A little
area.
bit.
Patrick's a little bit nervous every time he sees a police car come around. Yeah, I wonder why.
Good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Thanks for the information. Appreciate it,
No
though.
problem. Yeah.
You're doing good. I do appreciate that. But no, it's
Guys, I got 5 minutes. What can we do for
def-
5
it's
minutes?
definitely serious.
We could do a lot.
Let's see. Turn. Maybe I just hit a little button. Are we back up?
Let us know.
I probably hit a little button on there.
Maybe I scared it.
Yeah, you scared it. Commissioner, what you up to today? You looking good? You go to the gym?
Yeah, I was there this morning. I was hitting it 2 days in a row, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Show off the guns.
Just text in, guys. Chat in if you guys can
Did you register those?
hear us. Yeah, I think we might have just hit a button. Yeah, we're back up. My mother says we're back up. My mom's on the line.
Mom's watching?
Yeah,
Mama
yeah,
G.
so good.
My mom's watching too. Great show.
We got Pat's mom's watching. We got
Blake
we got
freaking
Blake.
revving up his car.
Can't help himself. You
Loud
know what they say
mufflers.
about those loud mufflers, right? Guys who drive around with a loud muffler.
Big
on.
trucks, loud mufflers.
We got a whole group out
Small,
there. Noise pollution, Naples.
Well, thanks for coming in, Commissioner. That was a very welcomed, honored opportunity to see
Yeah,
it.
I knew you guys were kicking it off live, and I was like, you know what? I got to come by. I got a couple hours to kill, so I figured I'd pop by, see if you guys are actually in the studio
Yeah,
working.
we're
But,
here. We're here.
I guess you can call it working, yeah.
Yeah, well, hey, as long as you're up doing something.
Yeah, we're trying. We're trying. What's going on? What's going on in the community?
We had a busy day yesterday. Had a lot of right out the gate, the AHOC committee meeting with the Affordable Housing Group, which is a really good group. A lot of good information being passed around. Just trying to get ahead of it. We got some good solid numbers from some studies that were done that we're looking at, like every day the commute into the county from other parts of the Southwest Florida just for people to work is right around 50,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a daily commute in and then another one on the way out in the evening. So yeah,
and then you lose those people too, because I remember when I was managing Outback, we would lose staff because they just simply couldn't afford to live here, so they were moving to Tennessee and Georgia and other places. It just became either too expensive or the commute. We had staff living in Lehigh Acres, driving hour plus to work.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing that. Typically it's the other way around. People are coming here. Traditionally, you were able to come to South Florida, parts of Florida, work in the service industry, especially during season, make some really good money and have the opportunity to stay here. But you can still make the good money, but the problem is the money don't go as far as it used to. And, we're seeing these other jurisdictions like Tennessee and the Nashville area and, that don't have state taxes, on wages. And, they're beating us at their own game, and they can live right outside the city for pennies on the dollar compared to what you can down here. So, it's tough, but we just need to, I think the conversation with a lot of our stakeholders, our big companies like NCH, the big hospitals and, Arthrex, these big people that employ a lot of people in the county, starting to look outside the box on different ways to, find areas and maybe to invest their own money into getting into some buildings, apartment buildings, things like that, for their employees. We got to remember, you look at the hospital system, everybody just thinks nurses and doctors, but there's probably 45, 50 different job descriptions that don't pay the same kind of money. And for that institute to run the way it has to efficiently and provide the health care we deserve here, those other people need to have the ability to work and live here too. The phlebotomists, the techs and stuff like that. They're not pulling down the big money like, some of your tenured nurses and stuff like that. But, so
working
it's
two
tough.
jobs, just to survive and make it.
Yeah. So that's we got to target that. And I think that's, and the sad part is nobody wants growth too at the same time, but at the same time you want affordable housing. The only way you fix that is inventory.
Yeah.
You have to have the amount of inventory to offset the market price. So,
Well, I think the inventory, obviously, with the inventory in real estate coming up, prices are coming down. Even in apartments. I mean, of course, you take a hit every time they want to put up a new apartment place. But the thing is when you have more apartments, then the prices will come down for people to be able to live here. Because I know what it's like if you want to come down to Collier County in the morning from Lee County, it's packed up. When you want to leave Collier County in the afternoon, you can't get out of Collier County. So they're coming down from Lee County to come to Collier County to work.
Oh, yeah.
So,
like I said, that study showed us, you may have been messing around with the system there, getting us back online, but the study showed us 50 to 56,000 people commute in every day.
Yeah.
So that's a big number. I mean, you just get to wrap your head around that. That's a lot, So.
Yeah, a lot of people coming down. What's happening in the county commission with? I know you have some big things down in the city, but also in the East End. I know they're talking a little bit about the Costco.
The Costco.
That's a big
Costco
thing.
crisis.
The building that needed with the mural needs to get repainted. All
when
that
we
stuff.
live in a pretty
I don't
safe
want to talk about that, but
county when those are the big
those are
pertinent
the big
issues.
issues.
Yeah, I'm not as depth in the Costco thing as Commissioner LaCastro is, down in District 1, because that's in his district.
Sure.
He's been keeping a close eye on it. I know he's been going to the neighborhood information meetings, the NIMS, kind of keeping finger on the pulse, how the people are dealing with it. There's some issues. That problem with that project is that property that Costco is obtaining, it's already zoned for that type of business. Yeah. So that's that doesn't give us a whole lot of room on how to dictate what they can do or can't do, unless there's some sort of special request outside of some sort of already something in the PUD or the land development code that might be outside the realms. There was some rumor that there was. How Costco's always put like a gas station and like that type deal was part of their campus. But there are some regulations on where you can put gas stations and that along the road, like how far setback, things like that. So that may be something that comes up to us, but I can't say it will, necessarily. But the other thing, the mural, the mural. This is why government don't get involved in picking art, man.
Yeah.
Just stay away from it. We have to just stay away from it. And the sad part is, what it comes down to is the building code down there is basically, you can have a mural, let's say a mural, on a public building in public view, but there's stipulations. It can't be adjacent to a state road. Well, your property line can't be bordering a state road. Well, that property line happens to border US 41 East, which is a state road. So right there, strike one.
Yep.
Strike two, even if you did have it and you weren't next to a state road, it can only be 200 square feet, which is 20 foot by 20 foot.
Really?
Which is not very big.
No.
So what got approved, because, the developer wanted something different. They didn't want the plain old 99% of the time Naples gray building, blah, right? So they, during the process, they were like, what can we do? And basically they had some ideas, and, the building department and code and everybody got together and says, all right, the best you can do is these dimensional, like shapes with color pattern similar to your, colors in the building. So that was just to break it up and have something different, not the norm. Now, if they would have just did that from the beginning, it probably wouldn't have been a problem. But their subcontractor misread what was going on. There was a guy from New York, hired a guy from Texas, from what I understand. He didn't know exactly what he was supposed to put up. So he goes to the website, and he saw the one that in the website, I guess, was supposedly in the artist's rendition. And he saw that in the plans and says, oh, okay, that must be what I'm supposed to paint. So he painted that initially, from what I understand. And that was never an approved one. There was three different submittals, and the only one approved was the one that's going up now.
Okay.
And it wasn't even a local artist, too.
No, he wasn't even like a local artist. So
what's the new one going to look like? Do we know?
It's already, they're putting it up.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's like gray, like, what it reminds me of?
A little bit more subdued?
Yeah, if what it reminds me of, like some of the patterns you see like in Italy and stuff, like in Naples, Italy, even, or that has like those diamonds.
Okay.
Different shaped diamonds with different shades, patterns to them.
I got to take a look at it so you can see.
I already listened.
See what all the fuss is about.
I already got a bunch of people reaching, and the sad, they're like,
you're not going to make everyone happy though.
Well, even this, the guy's like, I got one email, and he's just like, well, all right, I understand, it's the rules, but whoever's doing it has no artistic ability because his shades have too much blue and the gray has too much. I'm like, just
What's
It could
going to
have
happen?
nothing or something.
What's
This
going to
is where
happen
we're
is it's going to just be like a
Yeah, from here on out, we're not going to allow it at all because it just you can't satisfy everybody.
I think he'd like to have a 50-cent mural.
Well, no, I was actually thinking
No murals.
you could probably get on board with this. The Death Row mural we did, myself, Tim, Larry Love, and Blake Becker. I think that would look good on a building.
I did see that, and
D, if you're listening,
thoughts?
bring that out to us.
Yeah, could you bring that?
D, if you're listening, could you bring the mural out to us? Hopefully you're listening.
What'd you think of that, Dan? Did you recognize that picture?
I did not.
No.
I'm sorry, I'm not that versed in that community of art or community of music.
Well, actually, I found out later that they got the idea from Queen. Queen had an album with the same.
Well, they
look.
did. Queen, I think all the faces are looking the same way. It was
Same
like a
way.
diamond
This was,
shape.
but just kind of the concept. But Tim actually portrayed Suge Knight. You familiar with Suge Knight?
I've heard the name.
Heard the name? Just kind of ironic.
Big gangster.
Big,
LA.
allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly. Yeah, be careful what I say.
Well, he's locked up, so yeah.
So
I think.
those who know me, I worked the gang unit for several years here in Collier County. So Pat told me, "You want to be on the cover?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I told him, I said, "It's kind of a fun little rendition for me to be in."
I didn't think you'd go for it, and then people were actually calling and texting.
I like to have fun.
Tim's going to be, mad at you, and don't you think Tim signed off on it? He posed for it, so
yeah. Well, the commissioner knows when you retire from law enforcement. Not that we're doing anything wrong, but it's a little bit of hey, have fun, enjoy life. That's what we're doing this show for, so we can enjoy it and have fun. Yeah, yeah. So, but no. So it's good. So how are things going in we got you here, so let's talk a little bit about it. How are things going budget wise? We're gonna fall within our any of this. I know we talked about it in our podcast about you guys were doing some of this Doge stuff long before Doge became popular. But
you got a little flack from a couple people.
How is that all coming? I mean, I know you've been pretty tight.
No, it's going good. We're we had about a year and a half ago we brought on board a third party to look at different ways that we can prioritize our budget spending. And, they came back with some good ideas. And, a few we adopted right off the bat was creating a employment pool with our HR. Because traditionally in the past, and we were seeing it, and I was seeing it myself looking through the budget, let's say Parks and Recs ask for their annual budget with their annual increase that we approve ahead of time, like 3% or whatever. Then we would see money item line in there saying for assistant manager or field supervisor or something like that,
in addition to the 3.
Well, no, I mean as part of the original budget ask,
right?
But over like 3 years you see the same thing, but the position's never filled, but they're still getting it in the bulk initial pay of the budget towards the initial push out to the department. So what we're doing now is instead of having that just sit there because they traditionally hasn't hired anybody for those certain positions for whatever reason, they now take that money instead of just putting it in their budget on a regular annual basis just to sit there and not be used.
Right.
We're putting it back to HR in one pool.
Okay.
So there's one money pool, like one bank account. So when we do have areas that we need to hire, like when we started that task force that goes around to all our swells, stormwater management, we created a whole nother team that just targets cleaning these things out. Because, these last few hurricanes we have were much different than what we're used to, with the sand and, the silt that got pushed around. So these guys, and that, that gives you opportunity now. You can hire it because the money's there. Why sit for 5 years in this budget and they never hire for the position? And even though every year it keeps renewing. So we put it over there and say, all right, let's target what we really need this money for and, hire the people we need for something we can do now. So that was one of the ideas. So that helped trim down a little bit of these departmental budgets to a point. And, there's just other avenues, like things like, let's say decorations for Bayshore, CRA, for Christmas or a holiday or something. They have where now they create like fundraisers or like their parties and
so they take it off the back of the taxpayer.
Yeah,
and put it on kind of have it
on
themselves.
a community itself,
community base.
Yeah. So there's some little things like that they brought forward. But I think, personally, this is how I feel about it. I think this organization is great. I think they do great work. And when we looked at their resume, they're good at going into a city that's red, like in the red,
right.
You know, and figuring out how they can get balanced. We're kind of the opposite. We're in a position where
Cash
we
positive
collect,
for the most part.
Yeah, we're cash positive. And we get, you know, every year just because the inflation of prices of homes, resale of homes, stuff like that. We collect another 6, 7, 8% more than we initially anticipated, even at the same tax rate by the end of the season. So that's why we had the opportunity the last 2 years to cut the millage rate back, roll it all the way back to base. So in reality, those 2 years, I just got the number. It's around $145 to $148 million savings to the tax dollar just over these past 2 years that we didn't collect.
Wow.
And still operated within our budget, you know, with guidelines of what we had to do.
Is that extra money there because the property values are going up, and then obviously
Value properties,
ad valorem taxes,
ad valorem, and what is it's a phenomenon here in this town is that, like, say, you know, your aunt and uncle bought a house here 40 years ago, but it happens to be west of Goodlet, you know, in some area in there, and at some point they're going into a nursing home or they sell that house. Well, they paid $80,000 for it 35 years ago. Now it's reassessed and the dirt's worth $1 million.
Yeah. Right.
So the new guy now, he's not paying on that grandfathered in, homesteaded, you know, whatever price.
I think
they have a cap it.
Cap.
So now they're coming in and that's like $100,000 increase right there, you know, just in taxes that we didn't, you know, that we did nothing to gain other than somebody sold a home like that, you know. So and that happens a lot every year. Yeah. So
I know, like, down in that Royal Harbor area, city of Naples, but still tax.
Yeah.
And then those houses, I had the opportunity to sell one of those, built in 1978. Well, it had been capped over the years, and now the new assessment, and we have to. There's part of the contract and part of the paperwork that's required. There's a tax form that says, "Hey, listen, don't depend on what it was last year because ultimately, when it gets reassessed, it's going to be a little bit different."
Yeah, it's sticker shock.
Yeah,
when they look at when they're shopping around, they're like, "Is that the taxes?"
Taxes were $18,000 last year. Now they're like 148.
Yeah,
because that value is, you know, definitely
it's amazing
difference.
Yeah, and you know, 1 mil or 1%, what it equals over $1 million home.
Yeah,
you know?
No, absolutely. So Pat, I know you really wanted to not to cut you off, but I know you really wanted to do this, but you want to unveil?
Well, we didn't unveil it, but this is the mural that we were. What do you think, Commish? Don't you think this would look?
Like I said, I try not to judge art.
I don't know if it's
art. It's something.
It's whatever you guys want to call it.
Pat,
I guess.
but Pat, it comes off the Vibe mag, right?
The Vibe magazine cover. Yeah.
What year was that magazine?
It's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people, like, there's a few people that didn't, but no, I think that would look good.
I don't think you're a sponsor. I want to turn that around just in case. Trouble.
Yeah, we don't want to. Yeah, if it's not a sponsor, we only
we only promote. Yeah.
Well, this is an Arthrex Cup, so I wish they were our sponsor.
Yeah,
that would be a really nice one. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Speaking of Arthrex,
I'll just take the free lunches at Arthrex.
Yeah, right.
They're partnered up with Peter Jacobson, you know, the pro golfer.
Yeah.
They're gonna be part of the First Tee program up there in the Golden Gate Golf Course.
That's gonna be good.
It'll be really nice. It'll end up being a public course. Collier County residents will get a set discount price. It's going to be a 9-hole course, but I guess from what Peter Jacobson, he came to the commission, he spoke to us. He said the way he's going to design it, he's going to have like 3 or so different tee boxes, and the way he aligns them, when you play through, like the second time, it's almost like playing another 9, like a different perspective. Yeah. So I guess he's done it in the past in some other communities, and it's worked out well. So, but it's supposed to be some really good discounts for the county when it's all said and done, like for local play.
Are you a golfer?
You know what? I own golf clubs.
Yeah.
I hate to say
live
this.
on a golf course.
I live on between my, you know, I built that house up in Georgia, and in a community up there, we have 7 golf courses we have access to in Georgia, right outside Athens, between Augusta and Athens. And I live on a golf course here in Naples, and I played twice last year.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you your favorite golf course, but
I mean, locally here that I get to play once in a while is, I think, the Pine over, you know, where I live. I like that one. And then up in Georgia, I've played a few times, is It's between the landings, I think, if anybody's familiar with that, in Great Lakes. Probably Great Lakes. Jack Nicholson just helped redesign that one. It's a pretty nice course. A lot of water, along the water, the lake. It's pretty.
I played best ball tournaments. That's about it. 'Cause I suck.
Yeah, I'm not very good either. Well, keeping in the sports theme, your Pittsburgh Steelers making some moves, picking up DK Metcalf, which was a great move. But what are they going to do for their quarterback situation?
I don't know. And it was funny because when DK was out there shopping, he's like, I want to go somewhere warm and I want to have a good quarterback. Well, he went to a place that's freezing cold and they don't even have a quarterback. So that's, I guess, money talks.
Money talks, and they're probably the best offer for Seattle. But a great addition, a guy who's going to stretch the field.
Oh, he's a beast. You figure between him and Pickens, one on each side, it's going to.
Yeah, and Frankenmuth at tight end. I mean, they got some weapons finally, but what do you think of Aaron Rodgers possibly? It looks like it fizzled out a little bit.
I heard last night that Hayward called him out. He said either you want to be a Steeler or not.
Cameron Hayward.
Yeah, Cameron Hayward.
Well, Tim Guerrette's not a big Aaron Rodgers fan. I've learned that over the last couple weeks.
I used to like him until this last couple seasons. He's just been like a horse's ass, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, he's definitely.
And Aaron Rodgers probably doesn't care what Tim Guerrette thinks about him.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But I just think his attitude and leadership and what I've seen and how he's displayed it. Hell, you got a couple more years left, and you're going to run around like a
Sab writes in, Steelers going to have 2 disgruntled receivers now.
Yeah.
At this rate.
Well, if I was Aaron Rodgers, I'd have to look at. I got maybe 2 years left.
I think he's got maybe a year at best.
Well, let's just say, I'm giving him benefit of the doubt because he's all that holistic, whatever he does.
Yeah, mushroom retreats.
And stuff like that.
Magical paradise.
Let's say at the best 2 years, the worst half a season.
It's his best.
Blows his other Achilles out. But let's think about
his best option. I think.
Go to the Giants. Who are you going to throw through there? Who's your running back? Who's your support?
You're in the same position you were with the Jets.
Exactly.
The Giants.
Same exact position. The Steelers have a solid defense. Actually,
great organization.
Picked up a couple more good defenders. But the problem is the Steelers are set in their ways. They play a certain way. They like a certain type of offense. They like a certain way of defense. Aaron Rodgers, will he, in his later years now, will he kind of give in a little bit to that? Or will he want to run the locker room or run the,
It's a good question because Mike Tomlin's not going to let him run that.
But he says he respects Mike Tomlin. Every time you hear him talk about him.
He said he respected Robert Salah, too, and basically getting him fired. I know you're comparing apples to bowling balls, a lot of Tomlin, but still, I mean, but you're right. The Steelers organization's already set the tone. That type of attitude and behavior would not be allowed in that locker room. So do you think that style of football is still championship football in today's NFL? Because a lot of offenses evolve.
Eagles.
No, what I'm saying,
Eagles.
Well, they got Saquon.
Good defense running game. That's it.
But
whoop the butt of the Kansas City Super Bowl.
Beat
them like they're.
They did. Saquon Barkley had the greatest probably season of running back in about 20-something years.
But he didn't have the greatest football game in the Super Bowl, and they still whooped
They still won because the Chiefs put 8-9 guys in the box, too, and they were all in to stop Barkley, which opened up the passing game.
Sure.
No, but the Steelers' basically mentality, though, you don't have a Saquon Barkley at running back. So their mentality is whoever our running back is, we're going to pound the football 30 to 40 times, play conservative.
Listen.
And,
this is
where I'm getting at, where is it too conservative that they need to evolve a little bit?
Listen.
Are you Mike? Let me ask you this. Do you think Mike Tomlin's the right guy to?
I think Mike Tomlin probably should have been replaced a couple years ago. No doubt. I think he's run his time. He had a great. He's going to be in a Hall of Fame someday.
Playoffs, and that's about it.
He'll be in a Hall of Fame someday for what all he's done and what he's contributed to football.
Yeah.
But I think the Steelers have only had 3 coaches in the last 60 years. There's just doesn't happen in the NFL. Yeah. That organization, they believe in a mindset. They stick to it. And I'm not a fan that we have winning seasons every year. I'm not. I hate the fact of that. And I think me and you have talked before. There's a statistic out there. The Steelers haven't had a top 5 pick in an NFL draft since 1970. Think about that.
Yeah.
That is like unheard of. I mean, but it's just because they're too damn consistent every year, and that system they have is just good enough to always keep them competitive.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm asking. Do they
the
have to
problem,
evolve a little bit?
but I'm going to tell you the problem. The problem is the Roonies. The mindset of the coaching is if you make that draft, you come out of college, you're picked either in the first round or second round. You should be a professional football player. Mm-hmm. I don't care what position you're in. You're the next man up. You work, you run, you do whatever you do as a professional football player. I don't need the Saquon Barkley. I need the running back that's going to come out and play like a first or second round draft pick, and our defense and our line will do the rest. It's every play is designed for a touchdown. Think about it. Unless nowadays you get these special things. No, but I'm saying if it would work, everything works to plan.
I think some offenses are literally
It's execution.
3 yards in a cloud of dust, and they're okay with ground and pounding clock, and then relying.
But it's execution.
Yeah.
In reality, it's 11 on 11. It's
Yeah.
hat on hat. So if you're executing exactly the way the play is designed,
Well,
all you have to do is
here
beat
again-
one man.
Okay, but if you're comparing,
You need
the-
2.5
Saquon Barkley
yards
to
every
Jalen
play.
Warren or Najee Davenport,
If you can guarantee me 2.5 yards every play, I score a touchdown every possession.
yeah. Well, Najee Harris, by the way,
Mathematically.
not Najee Davenport.
No, but you understand.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's just the reality of the game.
And like Sab said, the Eagles won the Super Bowl with their pass game in that game, and you got to have a decent pass game to win in today's league. I agree, especially
but
to
that
win in the
You think
playoffs.
the Eagles won that because of their pass game?
They did in the Super Bowl.
think
Like you
it-
just said.
Well, no,
because what happened? The Chiefs boxed in Barkley, but
the Chiefs
the
gave
Eagles
them that
won-
pass game. They don't have a pass
correct.
game.
But you still have to.
They did exactly what I said. You're a professional football player.
But you still
if
have.
they're giving you what they're giving you, take it.
But you have AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts and
No,
Devontae Smith. so you still
I
have some
agree.
weapons,
AJ Brown's
you know?
he's a beast.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
And then real quick, because I know
We got 3 minutes left.
a couple minutes.
3 minutes left. We're doing good.
I just lost my train of thought. So
we were talking sports.
No, I know we were talking sports, but what do you think the Steelers? You think they'll draft a quarterback? Maybe you can't really go with a rookie quarterback with a veteran roster and pretty much kind of built. They want to win now, especially picking
I
up
think
guys like
that's
Darius Slay, like you said, is
listen. If
54 years old.
If they're looking at a rebuild season, then it is a rebuild season. And they brought Mason Rudolph back. He knows the system. He is what he is. He wins some games. He'll win you some games. Has he ever had the opportunity to throw to these two receivers in this receiving core before?
Well, no, they haven't really had a
So-
DK Metcalf since. I mean, that's the best. Sap can correct.
And
me
they
if
just
I'm wrong.
brought in. Oh God,
Sab will help us out.
the coach, wide receiver coach, from Arizona, played for the Steelers. I forget
Not
his
Hines
name.
Ward.
Hines Ward.
Hines Ward's a receivers coach with the
Yeah,
Steelers.
they
now?
just brought him
Hines
on
Ward.
board.
Wow.
Yeah, so they want to get that
what's he
mindset.
been
DK
all
Metcalf
these
might
years?
be the best receiver that the Steelers have since Hines Ward.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think
Yeah.
they're trying to build that mindset again, and bringing Hines Ward in, because I think them receivers last year, if you watched them, you're lucky if you got a block downfield out of one of them.
Well, that's the NFL now.
Yeah.
These guys don't. They're not getting the ball. They freaking barely run a route.
I wanted to get Commissioner Colwell's opinion on the pizza place. It's March Madness. There's a bracket. It's down to 8 pizza places in
Let's see if we can bring it back.
Naples,
Let's see if we can bring
Florida.
it back.
I want to see if any of
We
these
got a couple
places
minutes. We can hang here.
jump out to you, Commish.
Just a sec. Just a sec.
So Napoli,
All right.
which is
Yeah,
next
there we
door, is on there. Luigi's, Lowbrow, Joey D's.
Can you make that bigger? I can't see it.
That's what.
Yeah, that's kind of what we got. I mean, I'll read it at top. Aurelio's, Napoli, Italian Deli, Luigi's, Pepe's, The Crust, Lowbrow, and Joey D's. I know it's tough to see, but
All right. So it's a little bigger up there,
Yeah.
but so you're already
It's not
moved
our
up a
This
bracket.
is
Yeah,
not
see,
our
those-
bracket, but
those-
it's
yeah.
Naples.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
Naples Daily News, I believe.
Yeah, sad part is all the ones in that
No, don't.
particular.
Well, what's your favorite pizza place? You got
Telling you, I like that place up here, the one pat by airport in Vanderbilt Beach.
Oh, I
Yeah,
keep
was
hearing
good.
it. I
That
keep
was
hearing
good.
it.
Yeah. We got to go by there, man. That's good. Maybe we'll have to hit that. place
Wasn't
for
it
lunch.
Larry? He knew the name of it.
I
He
know.
was
I know.
saying,
Yeah,
Jen,
for
Jen
lunch.
Mitchell loves that
Yeah,
place
yeah.
too.
I think she said something too
Yeah.
on your one podcast.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it.
We got to try that place, but
Oh,
We got
can
music.
you hear it?
I can
Can
hear
you
it.
guys hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're being
That's
time
good.
to go.
Well, no, I'm just saying that's we're pretty much good. We got 2 hours in.
Wow.
We need it.
Yeah.
We need
That's why I said we
to.
had a
So I
couple
came. I was the
minutes left.
filler. I was the.
No, you-
No,
just
it was
in
so
time
good. We saw
Blake
it was so
actually
funny
had
because we
three.
saw you drive by. We're like, is the commissioner here to see us? We're like, all right, we'll take him.
No,
in.
it's a
Take
huge
him in.
honor.
Yeah, I was just
in
gonna drop in,
this is
see
our
how it was going.
First in
So.
studio live show today. So
Yeah,
we had Patrick Dearborn was supposed to be here, but he's feeling a little bit under the weather. But he called in. He said, "One simple rule, Pat: you got to be still and not driving." He called in. He's freaking
Yeah.
driving.
Yeah, he's into that holistic stuff too. It ain't working.
Ultimate human, right?
Patrick, we asked him, say, hey, listen, get a good, stable location when you call us. Some place where you can concentrate.
Oh, yeah.
He's driving down the road.
Driving down the road.
driving down the road. Yeah. We got dump trucks rolling through here. We got all kinds of. It's just we got it. Yeah.
Chickadee Park.
Chickadee Clark.
She's a lot.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
She needs pizza.
Pizza needs help. There's some good pizza
Yeah.
places. Not great, but there's a lot of good pizza places. This guy's gonna drive through this.
Yeah, this is we put our life at risk up here, Commissioner. Just so you know, Collier County's safe except for our.
Oh, we forgot about Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown.
Antonio
Yeah. DK Metcalf's the best Steelers receiver they've had. From
Well, Antonio Brown wouldn't have went signal 20 for everybody. That's the police term.
I think he's got.
He probably would have broke every record in the NFL.
I think he's got serious CTE.
Yeah, after that hit, he took by Berthoud.
He never was the same.
Cincinnati, he was never the same.
You see what Zabro Dearborn plays by his own rules. Yes, he
clearly does.
Yeah, and
marches to his own feet.
We had a good one, and I'm a little bit tired today. I'm a little dragging.
We got in at 5:30 in the morning.
And people are saying, "Hey, didn't I just say that a minute ago when I talked?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm playing with a lot of buttons here until I get these things down to Pat." I was trying so hard to be nice to him all day, but he was beating me. So my mother's on. So but hey,
Friday.
Listen. We got a lot more shows in the first one from the studio, so I can imagine we're going to look
History
back at
books,
this one
yeah.
someday and
We're
say,
gonna play this in
"Hey,
the, archive show number 1."
This is
had
big.
Commissioner Kowal and Blake Becker. Shout out to Blake.
So everybody point right underneath the 239 live, and we are out. We're going to finish it up.